chat. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a good day, good night, good evening.
Oh my god, I didn't set up anything right. Oh, hold on.
Thank you, by the way, Nerdy Techs and Accountant, for the member.
Nice, nice, nice. Hello, chat. How's everybody doing? I hope we have all enjoyed our, like, a little 2-week hiatus. You know, we kind of, Mizu had a massive backlog of things to watch. And we kind of burned through all of them. Now, to be fair, we burned through all of them over the course of many weeks of shows, so that was cool. But last week, we opened up our Lawtism suggestion channels, and we've managed to rebuild just a little bit.
Yeah, so I was wondering if Ava has any they want to throw in there. I have one,
let me see here.
And admittedly, my one is very long.
How long is your one?
An hour and a half.
Okay, so that'll probably be the main one. Let me see if there's anything a little short, with like current events that we can share as like a garnish or an appetizer. I'm gonna keep using food puns even though I'm not hungry because I'm sick.
Fair.
I think that's smart. Where the fuck did Lawtism suggestions go? I swear to God.
Oh, you lose your channel already?
I don't know how. I did. Look, honestly, chat, we're gonna have to do like a purge of the channels at one point, and we have way too many sections and channels in my server.
I've tried to keep mine kind of cut down.
Do you want 13 minutes of Boogie 2988 Police Body Cam?
Do you want to watch Boogie Police Body Cam?
I don't know. I asked you because I'm indifferent with Boogie. I know Oko would say yes immediately because they love that shit. Okay, my chat is saying no. Like it's terrifying to them. So yeah, we're not gonna do that one. I don't wanna. Who wants to subject my chat to torture? Let's see. You know what? An hour and a half is good.
Fair.
An hour and a half video is pretty damn good. I guess we could do a couple, actually, yeah, before we start the video, I'll bring up, oh, Jesus. The Supreme Court. Okay, so Supreme Court rulings. Two, recent rulings that happened over the last week. One, the 5th District Court of Appeals tried to, and this is kind of something that I knew was going to happen, because even though SCOTUS, when they removed wealth versus weight, basically, they kind of said, okay, we're going to leave it up to the states, and trust me, guys, this isn't going to affect contraception pills or abortion pills, Plan B, stuff like that. So Texas Court of Appeals went and tried to ban the use of the most popular and safe abortion pill that is mailed by mail and tried to do a nationwide block on it. SCOTUS had to actually step in and go, hey guys, what the fuck did we just say? And they actually appealed that ruling from the 5th Circuit of Appeals. So it does seem that, you know, there is one side of the courts that's trying to push that envelope, whereas the abortion rights are concerned, but SCOTUS is staying true to their word and saying, hey, we said we're going to federalize this, but we're not going to let the lower courts just absolutely destroy those rights either. And then the second SCOTUS ruling was actually a ruling that has more or less fully eroded Article 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Which, you know, regardless of whether or not people have opinions on that, I'm not going to give mine, but I will say that laws need updating over time, and if they don't get updated over time, they become so archaic, the courts feel the need to just toss it out, and that will often cause more harm than good, rather than just adjusting the law or reinterpreting the law more favorably instead of just removing it. Those are the two big things. I'm sure we're going to have more SCOTUS rulings as the session for this year goes on, but yeah, that's the big current event things where law is concerned.
Nice. I had something I was going to say, but I think I forgot it.
Ah, shit, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was supposed to keep it in the back of my mind, and I refused to. My memory is bad. I'm like a goldfish.
Hell, I know the back of your mind is the deeper part of the puddle, so you gotta be careful not to lose things over there.
But chat will get into this.
He says he's a diabetic now, even though apparently he told the police. So the police.
Are you ready to start, Ava? Already?
Yes, I am.
You're pounding away at that. I didn't have it pulled up yet.
I didn't mean to click play. I did not mean to click play. I switched over to watch together and just auto played. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I had to do the thing on my screen. I couldn't pause in time. So thank you. Lie to the cops, then use that lie to overturn your plea. Judge is furious at defendant's scheme.
So I've talked about this before.
Are we dealing with a judge? A doctor, sorry.
We'll get there. I will say, though,
Okay.
we talked about before, I like Judge Michael McNally as quickly becoming one of my favorite judges, personally. Oh, now I remember. There was another video I was going to show.
We've seen stuff from him, haven't we?
Yes. I like to show him a lot, because his stuff is actually pretty good. He's pretty level-headed, in my opinion. There was one I was going to show, and I completely forgot to pull it up, so I'd have to like look around and dig around and find it again. But most of the case is really fucking boring. It is a divorce case, so there's no kids as far as I know. It's just assets being divided up. At least. But mom has a male lawyer, dad has a female lawyer. Mom has. Mom has her parents at the court case supporting them, so they're leaving the courtroom. And mom's father holds the door open for dad and dad's lawyer. And apparently mom's father leans in as they're exiting and says something like, "You better get your fucking act together or I'll kick the shit out of you." And they go back into the courtroom.
Sorry, what?
Mom's lawyer tells the judge.
They come back in the courtroom.
Yeah. Mom's lawyer tells the judge. And the judge calls up mom's father to talk about it to the witness stand. He's like, "Come up to the witness stand. Tell me what you said." And mom's father basically says, "Yeah, I said that, but you got to understand this guy's a piece of shit." And the judge unironically goes, "Look, I have a daughter myself, so I understand your position. You just need to know that that's kind of inappropriate. You shouldn't do that." Anyways, let's go our separate ways now. And then dad's lawyer gets up and says, "Your Honor, we need to have like an actual talk about this because mother's father literally threatened to assault my client in a courtroom during a court case. We cannot just thank you. We cannot just hand wave this away.
No, we're taking off the fucking kid gloves. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? If you are fucking in your house, drinking a beer and they come over and you fucking make that threat while brandishing your shotgun. Yeah, I get it. Every dad has probably done that in fucking protection of their daughter. But we're in court and you said that in court in front of a judge where it could be heard by others. This needs to be fucking addressed.
Yeah, and the judge ends up not doing anything, but I really like the lawyer for calling him out on it and being like, "This feels a little prejudicial to my client. This guy is literally threatening my client in the courtroom, and you're up on the stand going, 'I understand your position.'" No, you don't understand his position. You're a judge.
A reasonable person should not understand, and the fact that a judge is not behaving reasonably is ridiculous. Kodo, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Wow,
nice.
I'm trying to think, okay, so it's a long court case. I might want to just see that one myself, just clips and snippets, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that, I hope to God the father's lawyer is going to be appealing and trying to look, the judge was completely inappropriate here. They decided to empathize with a freaking member of the freaking galley. It's not called galley. I'm too fucking boat coded. What the fuck is it called?
Wild.
With the seating area.
We can call it the galley.
It's not even a person it's not even the person directly involved with the case. It's one of the audience members, and they fucking say something that's brought to your attention, and you say you understand. Motion to recuse, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'll have to pull it up later so I can send it to you. I thought it was wild. The only interesting part though was the very end where she does that, and I'm like, thank God somebody
Gallery,
said
thank
it.
you.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's a good fucking attorney. And sadly, I hate being disappointed in judges, but it's been happening more frequently over the last couple years.
Yeah. Thank you, Internet Zen, for the 5. Problem with leaving it, pills or the Second Amendment, up to the states, is states are tarded. I sort of get that.
States are retarded, but there's a lot of things in the Constitution we leave up to the states because we have to.
Yeah.
Trust me, somebody from California might think somebody from Texas is retarded, but you look at the numbers and stuff like that, yeah, there's obvious political problems everywhere. But like the regional thing is unlike any other nation on the planet except for maybe China and their provinces. Remember, we're fucking huge. You can drive 8 hours in Texas and still be in Texas. That's
Yeah.
unheard of almost anywhere else on the planet. So those states have to have a necessary regional authority over their constituents. Otherwise, the big federal government isn't going to be able to effectively govern 50 states that don't have a government. That's crazy.
It's how we end up not ending up like other empires that fell apart eventually.
Exactly.
But this is the first part of the case, because I forgot to include this bit, where the guy is actually starting this. The second part is the really funny part, though.
You say he's a diabetic. He says he's a diabetic now, even though apparently he told the police. So the police are either lying in a police report, in which case they should be kicked off the force. Okay. All right. People against
pause just real quick.
25T6.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a chatter who actually has gone through law school. And they have just graduated, just done their last testing and stuff like that. They say, if that is what you're using your ink for an appeal, that isn't even a Hail Mary pass. The state's me, okay, so Saper. Something that law school is going to beat into you, but I'm going to try to beat out of you. Judges, you need to have the appearance of propriety at all times, especially in court. Even if a single moment of impropriety is shown by the judge, especially during a case, that by itself is enough to write an appeal. Now, law school might tell you, oh no, don't waste your time on that. No, fuck that. Because that's the shit that they set up to make judges, when lawyers are new and they're actually litigating for the first time, it's extremely nerve-wracking to be a new lawyer and to think, oh, I need to appeal this decision because that's the judge and maybe the judge will be pissed. No, fuck that. He's a public servant. He answers to you. He answers the court. He's somebody who serves the court. He doesn't fucking lord over you. So, for any reason of impropriety, absolutely file an appeal, even if it's as small as that.
Unless you get everything you want in the end.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you win the case, then maybe not. But like, if you're currently losing the case, and then they add that addition as well, and your client is a male, and you're in a female-dominated area of the courts, aka family court, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You use every weapon at your disposal without prejudice.
44584. Good morning, Mr. Clovis. Your appearance?
Bill Clovis, P3 434 on the defendant.
Mr. Pastor?
See the defendant here. Oh, here it is.
Your name, sir?
Good morning. Woodruff.
Oh my God, he
Mr.
lied to
Bryan?
the cops about a DUI stop.
So,
Okay.
you want to argue your motion now?
Sure.
I don't need to hear about the one with, how do I say this?
So the context is he had a DUI stop, and the cop, I don't even know why the cop asked this, because like I understand the cops probably should, but I've never heard a cop ask this on a DUI stop watching other videos. The cop specifically says, are you diabetic, or do you have any other conditions that may affect like our testing? And the guy goes, no, I'm not diabetic. So they show up to court, and the first thing out of the guy's mouth is, by the way, the test was wrong because I'm diabetic.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is an interesting.
And he might have
I'm sorry, I
some
had to
wiggle
mute.
room if the cop had, for whatever
little bit,
bizarre
but not a lot.
reason, not specifically asked him that when they were doing the
So
test.
I understand actually why the cop asked that. There have been a number of cases in recent years where like people have been pulled over for DUIs and stuff, but like whether they're diabetic or they have this weird this is gut biome condition where what happens is if you eat pasta or anything with like a lot of gluten in it, it'll actually convert and ferment that fucking that food into alcohol in your gut. You can eat pasta, not touch wine or anything, and end up driving home from the restaurant getting drunk from your own freaking condition. So this is have been happening more and more frequently, and some police stations have started asking about medical conditions that could affect the testing. So he was probably just doing things by the book, which has been recently updated in this county. And this fucking asshole is trying to take advantage of that despite already testifying that he doesn't have diabetes.
Yeah. And it was actually very funny realizing that, like, no, the cop actually asked you about this, like, outright.
Yeah, already.
I'm not, I would not have scheduled this for hearing at all if it was still over the motion to withdraw the plea.
It was a motion to withdraw, the plea was denied.
Correct.
It's a motion for reconsideration.
But you filed a motion for reconsideration. I didn't know that you were asking for a Ginther hearing before. You mentioned something about ineffective assistance and.
Right.
Go ahead. Why don't you proceed?
You can probably hear it here, but this guy has basically thrown out everything he can to try and get out of this DUI, which makes me wonder, is this like his, like a 5th or 6th DUI? Which I know it's not. We find out later that this is his 2nd DUI in 5 years.
That's why. Even one.
Yeah.
Even if you already have one, he's already been through it once, so he definitely doesn't want to go through it again, which is why he's floundering so much. Sabertot asks, how high does the BAC get for that problem? Actually, they've blown upwards of like 0.9 to like what's it called? Like
you can be hella
0.9
drunk with autobrewery
1.2
syndrome.
or something like that. Yes. It's ridiculous how quickly and how fast their gut biome's able to ferment and break that down into alcohol. It's an actual problem, and it's an issue.
Yeah.
Like I've been through hearing concerning this.
Here's a, not related to this, it's related to the autobrewery thing. Just like we have sort of requirements, like if you can't see, you can't like drive or whatever and all this other stuff. What do you think should be like the rules with somebody with autobrewery? Because they're still drunk.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think that like a lot of time what'll happen, somebody doesn't figure out they have autobrewery syndrome until like they get pulled over, and like, I didn't have anything to drink, but I'm being arrested for DUI. I think once found that you have autobrewery disorder, you need to go on the DMP and get some kind of sticker. Well, God, here's the problem, right?
Because you shouldn't be driving at all. That they have You're still drunk.
Exactly. As soon as they have autobrewery disorder and they know that they have it, then they should at the very least know to not, when they're driving, eat foods that would cause and trigger the autobrewery. So I don't think anything special is needed, but I think like maybe on the cops end or something, when they bring up stuff, maybe that should be something that's tagged on people who have autobrewery, but it's not something that could get them out of a DUI. It's just something that would be, hey, this is some more information. That way you can actually conduct your police work accordingly. Because it is important for cops to have this information on hand, but I don't think it's important for, it to be a sticker on your ID or your driver's license.
Yeah. I don't know, it's an interesting question because it is like an actual disability that they have to live with. But at the same time, you are genuinely drunk.
It's a strict liability crime, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Because like at the same time, you are genuinely drunk and a danger to people if you go driving.
Yeah.
It puts you in a shitty situation where you have to be like, yeah, sorry, but you're kind of fucked, bro.
Yeah, you're literally built different, and because of that, you don't get the same rights that we do. Which really fucking
Because-
sucks, but quite
because-
literally, you have a brewery in your stomach. I mean, I guess silver linings?
Yeah. You get drunk cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah.
On October 7th of last year, Bobby's being represented by the prior attorney. He had a medical consultation quite in depth, and it does show the diabetes he suffered from. And I guess ultimately is this, they're claiming by hearsay police report that he said he wasn't a diabetic when asked on the road or anywhere that they allege.
I had to pause. Are you fucking kidding me?
If that was true, we deny it.
There is a hearsay exemptions rule, and one of the few things that does not cover hearsay is police reporting and documentation. That is considered testimony for the truth of the matter, regardless of whether or not the cop is actually there, and regardless of whether or not it was an out-of-court statement. It was recorded by the cop, so therefore it is exempted under the hearsay rule.
Yeah. Like I told you, they're
So
just
this
throwing
lawyer
everything at the
already
wall.
fucked up hard. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Like I would have immediately stopped him right there as a judge and be like, hey, we're not doing this. I don't know what you think you can throw at the wall, but I know you know because the hearsay rules is 101. Like it's year one of law school. Are you fucking kidding me?
10-second recap I just got here. This guy is in court for driving while drunk, and he is like throwing literally everything at the wall to try and get out of it because it's the second time he's been caught doing this.
Yeah.
We deny
This is
it. But even
crazy.
if it was true, it's a manifest injustice that he pled guilty, that it was artificially high, his blood alcohol level. So in other words, if DNA is somebody's convicted of murder, great, and DNA later shows something, well, you know what?
Hey,
It's not-
dude, no, pull up, holy shit, look at this. The judge is posing for his new rap album, which is about to drop next week. You're so fucked. Look, he took off his glasses and crossed his arm, and his leg is up. Dude, look at that stare.
I
You're-
feel
look,
like if I'm the
seriously.
attorney and I look up from my whatever I'm reading and I see the judge looking at me like that, I'm just gonna be like,
I'm
you know what,
stopping.
judge, rest my case.
Yeah, no, for real. It's just so bad.
Manifest injustice. I understand that that's the.
Do you have a medical record that tells me, a doctor that tells me that he's a diabetic?
Yes, Ron.
Is it saying a report, or am I going to be asked to interpret numbers here?
No. That he's a pre-diabetic. And Your Honor, I'm a pre-diabetic and I have to.
You hear this? He's not diabetic, he's pre-diabetic. You know, it's
Hold on. Yeah, that's really good. Sabertall says they taught evidence for me in the second year, but even the police report record exemption does not apply in criminal cases unless it is used against the government. Actually, it does, and many judges will actually exempt hearsay if it's a police report, especially in DUI/traffic court. Now, maybe, procedurally, strictly, you are technically correct. They maybe shouldn't exempt that, but a judge can exempt a great deal many things, and a DUI/traffic judge is going to exempt the hearsay rule for police reporting.
they
They
also
just are.
a lot of times do it in like states that have a lot more cases for desire for expediency. Because these are judges that
we have preliminary
literally
hearings and stuff like that where you
Yeah.
throw out all your evidence and like, hey, can we get this done quickly?
yeah.
This isn't a jury trial, obviously. This is a bench trial. So it's already not going to follow the normal rules of evidence as you would come to expect them to be enforced with a jury present.
Like, trust me, I don't want to sit here because I haven't gone to like college for lawyering or anything and be like, you're wrong, you don't understand this. But I've watched so many hours of actual courtroom footage at this point of just how judges act that I've kind of learned that a lot of stuff they teach you in college doesn't really pan out in practice.
Yeah, there's been a lot of confused lawyers as they've got it down. They've got the rules of evidence down, but this judge likes to exempt this particular rule or whatever. And you have to be ready and on your feet to deal with that and improvise, because a lot of lawyers, what they'll do, that stumble will actually cost them the whole case. They can't recover and be back on top of it and work around those new rule exemptions in a way that actually benefits their client.
Yeah. Thank you, Ghost of Aces, by the way, for the
think on your
super.
feet,
Did he say I wasn't driving? I was traveling. We haven't reached that one yet, but maybe that one's in our future appeal.
It's been a hot minute since I've heard the "I was traveling" excuse.
I try and avoid sovereign citizens just because it's the same thing every single time.
It's always the same thing, yeah.
And it's only funny when they have like an actual knockdown fight with the judges.
Exactly. They either that or it's a judge we've never seen interact with a sovereign citizen. Those are fun too, because we all know what the sovereign citizen is going to say. But sometimes, especially if the judge hasn't come across one himself yet, those reactions are some of the best. I look at sovereign citizen videos more for the judge than the client, because I know the client. He's a monolith.
Yeah, like something funny is about to happen when they start speaking and the judge says, "What do you mean traveling?"
Yeah, like, are you one of those sovereign citizen types? You see the judge like sit up in their chair and get all excited.
I didn't know my state had these. This is a new one for me.
Oh my god.
Take
It's
a
so
shot
good.
and 3 pills every day. So I don't know where they come up with the word 3, but they called me that too. I guess after a certain number, you become a diabetic officially. But I take Ozempic and I take 3 other pills for my pre-diabetes.
No, but a lot of people take Ozempic just because they want to lose weight too.
It ain't losing weight. Mine was almost going into shock when I was in Chicago about 2 years ago.
Well, if this is a report dated October the 7th,
Right.
what is this medication that he's on?
What kind of medication?
Metformin.
For what?
Metformin.
What's that for?
Diabetes. I'm on 1,000 milligrams daily for the last 2 years. We had abuse last time.
Don't worry.
Okay, so he's
We'll
got
talk more about his
more
medication in
than one
part
type of
2.
medication for diabetes, but here's the thing: there's types of medication where it's contraindicated. Where if this treats diabetes, but it also treats gout and 2 other things, right?
Yeah.
So
I also like how his
interesting.
lawyer was
as
like,
soon as
well,
he
I'm
said
on
Ozempic, I'm
Ozempic
like,
for
who cares?
diabetes.
People use that all the time.
So
That's
the thing. His lawyer is talking about what
diabetes, but not always.
No, so what his lawyer is saying is what his lawyer uses. Because his lawyer goes, I'm also
Oh.
pre-diabetic, and I take Ozempic for it.
Oh my god, shut up.
So this
You
new
need
medication, this 1,000 milligram one, is the only one the client is using. The lawyer is using 2 different ones,
Okay.
and he's trying to use that to like make the judge sympathize with his client.
Why are you testifying?
I don't know.
Why is the lawyer testifying?
I think the judge is being loose with it because it is more of a person versus the state kind of case, and I've noticed a lot of judges are a bit more sympathetic with people versus the state sort of stuff in many cases,
Yeah, usually.
and they kind of let it ride a little bit longer. But it's so funny as we go through this, as the judge learns what this guy is doing, and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you really think you would slip this past me?" And thank you, Ghost of Aces, for the other super. He says, that's where we differ. I could watch them every day. I understand that. Like, some people really love sovereign citizen stuff. That's why there's entire
do,
channels
that's true.
dedicated to it.
The prescription history from Myers.
Have you seen this, Mr. Bologna?
I have not yet.
For pre-diabetes. That doesn't mean he's a diabetic, though, right?
Your Honor, I'm a pre-diabetic and I have the weight. The shot.
Why would he have told the police officer he wasn't diabetic?
First, it's a police report hearsay. Nobody's testified to that. And the bottom line is, Judge, respectfully, if they're inaccurate results, that's a miscarriage of justice. If they're in, they can't do that test.
Well, wait a minute. You mean I could, if I'm diabetic, I could tell them I'm not diabetic, have them lure them into giving me an intoxilizer, and then come back and argue that the intoxilizer results are invalid because you bought my lie and you relied on it and you didn't get a blood draw instead?
There you
Judge, I doubt very much that he
go. Hey,
knew something.
so look, okay, wow. Okay, I've not like had a like angry reaction to just someone's response, but just the way he said judge.
Yeah.
That was so condescending. That was like what you would say to a 5-year-old who is starting to get a little too excited. Hey, calm down, judge, calm. No, get your fucking attitude in check, young man.
Judge, stop thinking about it.
Oh yeah, no, for real. That's fucking Dr. fucking Phil looking motherfucker.
It's like so much of this case was funny to me. Even though like it was very quiet and the judge was very professional with everything. Every time the guy's lawyer spoke, I'm like, do you fucking hear yourself, bro?
That's crazy.
Typically, that he can't take breathalyzer. His attorney didn't know, and it was never brought up at all.
Because why would a lawyer bring it up when
His attorney? Are you his attorney?
The client asked.
He had a different attorney. This new attorney is.
God damn it!
This new attorney is helping him.
It's a single fucking DUI. How the fuck do you have 2 attorneys for a DUI case?
This new attorney is helping him with his new appeal, and his appeal is ineffective use of counsel.
Oh, ineffective. Okay.
And the reason the counsel was ineffective because his previous attorney did not bring up that he was diabetic, even though he lied to everybody and told them he wasn't diabetic.
That's crazy.
It's such a shit show. I love it.
That's crazy. So, Sapertop, everything you're saying is actually would be correct if we weren't in the light of this is actually an appeal on grounds of ineffective use of counsel. So, the normal rules aren't applying here because they're actually going back over the case, see what went wrong, and see how the previous attorney might have messed up enough that, yes, he needs another shot at this, right? So there, a lot of rules of evidence and like hearsay exemptions and all that shit just aren't going to be really even considered right now because, again, they're going over the case to see what went wrong.
Yeah. Also, yes, you're right, Anubis. Ozempic was originally made for diabetics, really. However, what the judge is kind of saying when he says some people take it to lose weight is you can't use I am taking X medication as evidence for a specific illness that medication targets. You have to just bring in a doctor's note that says you have that specific illness. Especially when it's a medication like Ozempic, where you can take it for weight loss, which anybody can do. And you don't need like a specific, I have this disability to take it. Although I do think you still need it prescribed,
hey, Eva,
right?
If he lied about not having disabilities, wouldn't it be thrown out? Well, he'll get in all kinds of different trouble, potentially, if it's found out that he's lied, perjury, but no one ever charges perjury, so no one takes it seriously. He wouldn't get his case just thrown out. He might, this appeal is retarded. The original decision stands. That's probably the most that'll happen. Maybe a perjury charge if the judge gets pissed enough at him. That's it.
Yeah.
When their client told the officer they weren't diabetic.
Your Honor, that's hearsay right now.
All right.
You're relying 100% that the officer said.
You're not getting that one over on the judge. I understand where
No, you're not. So that's not hearsay.
Yeah.
It's exempted, and even if this wasn't a normal trial, if this was the OG, I'm sorry, I would still say the judge would probably exempt that as hearsay.
Yeah, it's the police report. That's kind of just something the judges accept for the most part. Is like, yeah, this is the officer's words.
It's tantamount to witness testimony.
Yeah.
Well, who are you relying on?
Of course, the judge would. The cop would actually probably be in the court.
It says pre-diabetic. You say he's a diabetic. He says he's a diabetic now, even though apparently he told the police. So the police are either lying in a police report, in which case they should be kicked off the force.
Okay.
Who's saying he's a diabetic? This says pre-diabetes. What information do you have to tell me that the lawyer should have pursued that?
So basically what the judge is getting at here specifically is he's turning it around on the lawyer and being like, okay, you're telling me him saying he's not diabetic is hearsay, but you're just handing me a document that claims to be from another person who is also not here.
That says he's pre-diabetic, and
Yeah.
you are saying that you have three claims here. One, he's either healthy, he's either pre-diabetic according to the paper that you just handed me, or by your own testimony, you're diabetic. Which
Yeah.
the fuck is it? Pick a goddamn lane.
And he's also calling out that, like, your doctor is not here to testify to this. So by, like, literally the exact same rules you're putting on the police, your document is hearsay.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? Like, okay, if they appeal as ineffective use of counsel, okay, fine. That's why the cop isn't present right now to corroborate their testimony at the report, which is probably what they did in the OG trial. Now, what's happened now, because you're appealing on ineffective use of counsel and you're claiming diabetes, your lawyer should have gotten a hold of your doctor and said, hey, we need you to appear in court, or at least make some time so you can appear on Zoom and you can testify that your client here has diabetes because he's about to go to jail for having diabetes. If that's the narrative that you're pushing, right?
Don't worry,
So
in
the
the
fact
next
that the doctor
video,
isn't
we
here
will
is a
meet his
problem.
doctor. And I'm excited
No way,
for that.
he actually, his doctor comes in.
It is,
Holy shit.
his doctor is such a fun story.
Okay, wow. I didn't expect a follow up.
Yeah. They bring in two doctors.
They bring in two doctors. Oh no.
That's what I am.
Well, you're saying that. I don't know that to be true.
Making it up.
Well, I don't know if you are or not.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, you guys are coming in.
You do not do this as a
Wow.
lawyer, by the way.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know why he's arguing, or like, you're a lawyer, dude. Like, I expect this on if the person is pro se, but no, you know better. What are you doing?
Here, I'm gonna go back just an inch, chat, because I moved Ava out of the way.
Yeah, see, hear it.
I want you to watch his lawyer here and, like, just how he looks and moves.
That's what I am.
Well, you're saying that. I don't know that to be true.
Making it up.
Well, I don't know if you are or not.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, you guys are coming in.
Judge says,
Well,
I don't know that to be
that's enough for
true.
contempt.
Judge says, I don't know that to be
enough,
true.
That's enough for a contempt warning.
And his response is, okay, I'm just making it up then. And the judge gives
Yeah,
him, like, a polite
this is
response
weird.
back still, even though he's being a dickhead.
And he's literally doing that fucking thing, like the kid. mumbling, Yeah, tell me how I live my life. You give me. Like, are you kidding? Is this actually We are in a courtroom, my dude.
It's so funny to me. Like, where do these people find these fucking lawyers that act like this?
Yeah, I like that one lawyer of the last Lawtism we watched, where they literally lost their mind and detransitioned live on camera.
Like, where do people find these fucking lawyers? Seriously.
Finish this karma, have a good one. Hope you have fun.
Oh, I love these, chat, because these lawyers are a fantastic example of just because you went to school for it doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
Yeah, look, just because somebody says they're a lawyer doesn't mean they're a good one.
Some people are really good at taking tests in a controlled environment. They're also really fucking bad at dealing with people in real life.
Oh no, Phoenix Fire just said something amazing. Now I'm not going to be able, now I want to hear that lawyer talking in an Eric Cartman voice. Like, hey, Eva, is this actually an Eric Cartman dominated episode of South Park? Because the guys reminded me of Cartman. Because Cartman only does that kind of shit. And yeah, you thought I was cute.
And now saying there's diabetes involved, and I don't have any evidence of that.
You got it in front of you right
Yeah.
It says pre-diabetic. What do you have to say, Miss?
This
Oh
guy
no. Okay, so the judge just went to, what do you have to say? And he's talking to the client directly. And look, there's a special level of piss off a judge has to be if he's gonna stop talking to the lawyer and he's gonna talk to you. That's not good.
That's
That's not
that.
good performance for the lawyer. That's not a good position you want your case to be in.
I love that the lawyer audibly said, "Ugh." Like, what?
He got it. He'd already say, UGA. Oh, good.
He audibly, "Ugh."
Wow. I
What?
mean,
Oh, it's so funny. God.
respect my forte.
I feel like if you're a client and you see the judge getting snippy with your lawyer like this, you're like, do I need to find a third one?
Dude, at this point, it would be actually so amazing if the client just looked between the judge, his lawyer, and goes, "Can I fire my attorney right now?" If the judge goes, "Absolutely. We'll do a
Sure.
continuation. You know what? You have 3 weeks to find a new lawyer. Get this motherfucker out of my courtroom."
Bologna?
Your Honor, if the request is for a Ginther hearing at this point, it's focused on ineffective assistance of counsel. All we have to work off is what we have in the report and what was done up until now. The report says that he stated he was not diabetic. So the question is, was there ineffective assistance of counsel? The counsel is reviewing that report.
By the way, who's speaking is this guy behind Ava. Here, I'm gonna scoot Ava over so my chat can see him better. Look how far away
Yeah,
from
no,
the
it's-
table he is and how well his voice is carrying in here. Like,
Dude,
he's
That guy's
leaned
got some
back up
sexy
against
vocal
the
cords.
galley podium and you can still hear him perfectly. You can
yeah,
almost
and
hear him better
he
than the guy's
sounds
lawyer.
louder than the guy in front of the fucking microphone. Like, holy shit, this lawyer's cortisol levels need to be spiking because this other lawyer is mocking the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
I can only assume that he's not going to ask me follow-up questions as it relates to diabetes. So unless there's something that states where the client presented prior counsel with a statement saying I'm diabetic or medical records to prior counsel stating that he's diabetic, I think it's safe to assume that there was effective assistance of counsel in this whole process.
His
Fuck
prior
yeah.
counsel didn't even know what diabetes does.
Excellent
or
argument.
pre-diabetes.
Oh, his previous lawyer didn't even know what diabetes is. Yeah, okay, buddy, sure.
Yeah. No, Steve's doing a great argument here. It's like, look, if he didn't, like, the only way that we're going to actually get to, okay, this was an effective use of counsel and we're going to have to retrial. The only way you're getting that is if you're meeting the burden of proofs in which you actually prove that had he had more effective use of counsel, it's possible he would have won the case. That's the standard.
Also,
if this guy never fucking gave him, his lawyer, information regarding him being pre-diabetic or diabetic or whatever, and this is only new information the new lawyer has, you cannot actually use that to make an argument of ineffective use of counsel.
exactly. This is also a random side point that's not really relevant. Normally, when we see Judge McNally's courtroom, it's over strictly Zoom calls, so we don't actually see the rest of the courtroom. This top left is the first time I've been able to actually see his entire courtroom.
It's a big courtroom.
And the way the layout of it is. It looks really cool. I like the way like the judge's podium is designed with the clerk in front of him like this.
That is really cool.
And then I guess this
What's
is our
also really
witness
cool
box
about
over
it
here.
is it almost looks like, okay, yeah, you can't get in from the well, which, by the way, everyone, where they are, that's called the well. You can't get anywhere near the judge or even where's the okay, the jury's over on this other side, so you can't even really approach the jury either. This courtroom was designed with security measures in place.
Yeah.
I mean, like he would have to literally like we've seen not lawyers, excuse me, clients and stuff attack judges. They'll launch themselves over podiums and shit. Dude, no one is getting over this giant ass fucking barrier to the judge. That's so much distance and so much effort. Nah, the bailiff's got this. This is a very nicely designed courtroom.
Yeah, I like how his courtroom looks. And up until today, I've only ever seen the top right and the bottom left picture of the courtroom. I've never actually gotten to see the whole thing.
GG Demon Slayer says, Iron Mouse getting cat. Okay, yeah, we're doing Lawtism right now, so like the drama and stuff. Iron Mouse is getting canceled because whatever. It doesn't really like it is so like in related news, I found out that I was in a fucking music video, in an AI generated music video. I'm not gonna lose my shit because oh no, AI was used a little bit in that fucking video.
Oh yeah, Iron Mouse is dropping Neverness to Everness because of AI use in it.
Yeah, AI use in a fucking cutscene, mind you.
Like there's a couple
Like I would understand if
Well, so I think a lot of people haven't mentioned it. So the cutscene is for a piece of side content called like Meow Heist or something. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's just a way in game for you to earn money each week. I will say I wish they had an option to turn the cutscene off because every time you go back into the mission, it plays it again and you have to skip it. I want an option to just like skip forever and pop me right back in the mission.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that.
Because you have to run it multiple times.
If like a lot of the assets were created using generative AI or like anything like that, I'd understand. But a fucking cutscene? How long is a cutscene? Do you know?
I don't know. It's like 30 seconds.
30. Okay, less than a minute long cutscene was AI generated. Look. I'm not gonna lie, like, I understand Iron Mouse standing on business and being like, look, I asked if there was AI use in this and you said no, and this is AI. Okay, I kind of get that, you know, just from a strictly, hey, I'm a serious business person. I asked for this, you lied to me, so on that alone is what I'm removing from. But it still feels a little bit of a mountain out of a molehill because of the way that the AI was used. It'd be like me freaking out because, oh, in this giant fucking feature-length film, one of the background images in this animation was AI generated. I don't know, my stars, who the fuck cares? This is a tool now. People are going to have to either, one, get used to fucking seeing it, or watch themselves turn into the Twitter freaks regarding Hogwarts Legacy, because that is the level of irrational anger I see when someone just hears that AI has been used for something.
Also,
like, they basically start foaming at the mouth, and that needs to be fixed.
It's a side note, but I have to point out that she was not actually lied to. Her and everybody else is just kind of stupid and can't read. So they didn't say they never used AI. They said they did not use AI in like the main story campaign or parts of the game that were like directly necessary for like the main content. And they specifically worded it that way.
Literally what I had already assumed.
Yeah, they specifically worded it that way.
Yeah, literally what I had assumed. God, come on. This is such a virtual signal then. I was all right with Iron Mouse assuming that her statement was correct. But turns out, no, it wasn't. They fucking specified, and we're all fucking illiterate as a society now and can't read, and that's why this situation has even occurred.
Yeah, people took main content to mean literally any part of the game, which is not what the average person takes to mean main content, especially in a world where, especially in an open world game where like everybody is aware that a lot of content is going to be side content.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ghost, for the super. Tired of the performative outrage over AI. I kind of am too. If the game is fun, I kind of don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I will rail on when AI has been like quite obviously used, it's not well implemented, it's not meshed in well with everything else. Yeah, all fucking you. That's gross, that's lazy, whatever. But like, I don't know, I've been seeing more and more stuff where it's like, there was a freaking video that this person generated, took them months to do so, for all the editing. It's leaflet versus powder. It's actually pretty goddamn decent. You can tell it's obviously it's AI, but it's a fucking dramatic improvement and it would have taken them years to do something like that, like what they did with the Hololive bad ending fan animation. Remember, that person took years. This person took months for something that's of similar design. That's what AI should be used for. Anywho's it's
I'll have a doctor sitting up there during the Gunther hearing and the former attorney. The results are just, they're void. We can't say, well, you said something to the officer, so we're gonna put everything aside.
Okay, so I just want to ask you this question. If the officer comes in here and tells me, Judge,
Also, sorry, really quick. Thank you, Spider Bro, for the raid over on Twitch. It's much appreciated. I hope you guys are ready for a little bit of law and legal talk.
Johnny Quick, the defendant told me he was not diabetic. How, and if I believe that officer's testimony, you still think it's ineffective assistance of counsel because the defense lawyer didn't pursue an avenue when the officer had been told by the defendant, according to the officer, that he was not diabetic, and therefore that the defense simply could lure somebody in by saying, no, I'm not diabetic, wink, wink, and then go back and say, I was diabetic, and the results are skewed. I can't even imagine a lawyer trying to argue that his client's diabetic.
good shade.
If the officer was told by the defendant, if the officer was told by that, you're right, there are mistakes, that he was not diabetic.
He's got medication with him. And it's on the report, his medication.
Which report?
Yeah, okay.
The
I
medical report or the
advocate.
police report?
I believe both.
I didn't ask you that. What report are you referring to? The medical?
That report
The
has,
medical report.
and I'm sure the inventory, and I don't have the inventory report, has what was on it. I don't have an inventory report.
Oh,
I don't-
okay, that's different. Wait a minute.
Does anybody else want to help me out here?
Shit,
and tell
okay.
me why I'm
I got it.
So, if in the inventory report, when they search the car and everything after the DUI, if diabetic medication is present there, that might speak a little differently. But again, this is really only enough for me as a judge to be like, okay, you know what? There's just enough here. Let's get in your witnesses. Let's actually have this. So I need the former lawyer in here for the next hearing, and I need the cop.
Yeah.
Like, he just gave me, and again, we're 8 minutes in, back and forth, but he just gave me barely enough information to tell me, okay, there might be something here, because if in the inventory report, yeah, prescription drugs, and it was this prescription, and that prescription is used for diabetes, well then, we have something that might actually be able to counter his testimony to the officer. So that's just enough to get through this hearing into the next one.
thinking incorrectly?
Yeah, no, well, yeah,
Correct.
actually, yeah, you'd want his doctor, the previous lawyer, and that's all. That's all
Yeah.
you need. But yeah. Okay. I'll let you click play.
Mr. Bologna, Mr. Colovis?
A hearing with results. It'll be
Diabetes.
a very short hearing.
You're going to bring in the doctor.
I'll bring him his treating physician, not a made-up one, and how long he's been on it. So what I'm saying is, let's just say that the officer heard that my client was not a diabetic. Let's just say, does that mean that test results go in? Absolutely not.
So we have an issue.
Yeah.
It's his treating physician. I'm sorry, if you're pre-diabetic, this should be your primary handling this. Treating physician indicates that you basically, like, that indicates to me that you went into the fucking doctors after the fucking DUI to see if you are diabetic. That's the only way to have a treating physician on this.
You gotta lay foundation. And one of the foundations is, if you're diabetic, can you blow?
If you're conceding that he told the officer he was not diabetic, are you conceding that?
No, I'm saying what, the worst case scenario. That's
So hold on. Supertoss says, none of this really matters when the jury judge of the OG trial was bench found he was intoxicated beyond a reasonable doubt. How can the defendant prevail, diabetic or not? Isn't it DUI death? So here's the thing. Remember, when the appeal for ineffective use of counsel is applied, you have to look at all the other evidence. Usually, some of that evidence has been edited or taken out because of a more effective use of the new counsel. So they don't have to, just because he was found to be intoxicated beyond a reasonable doubt, doesn't mean that that's what they have to now cast doubt on. They just have to cast doubt on any of the evidence or reporting of the initial trial. So if he is diabetic and that would fuck with their testing hardware, well, that evidence could no longer be relied on. It and then creates that reasonable doubt and basically creates procedurally the requirement for a retrial. But because they're doing an appeal of ineffective use of counsel, it means that they don't have to think about any of that right now. They just have to cast enough doubt in the judge's mind that his lawyer, in fact, was not good. And if he had a good lawyer, he might have won the case. That is what he has to prove right now, nothing else. The facts of the case are kind of off the table right now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a video. I haven't seen it.
I can't imagine me or any other judge throwing out a case on the basis that they should have administered a blood draw as opposed to a breathalyzer if the officer was told, and the court believes that it's truthful testimony, that the defendant told the officer he's not diabetic. I can't imagine me throwing out a case saying, it's a miscarriage of justice. He should have been a mind reader. He should have been Houdini. He should have been a read everything.
Nobody says throw it out. What we're saying is those results, if all true, the breathalyzer results are excluded. And now they can try their case the old-fashioned way.
Well, that's what I meant, throw out the results.
Correct.
Yeah, throw out that evidence. That's what the judgment. Come on, dude.
Yeah, no, the judge is basically telling you what's going to happen, like, if you get your way, right?
And because he would have to throw out the case because he would have to throw out the primary evidence the state has against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we have literally, so yes, we are effectively tossing this case if you actually manage to get me to toss this evidence.
Yes.
That's like not watching a person for 15 minutes, they regurgitate and then they blow.
No, that's a lot different than somebody telling an officer I'm not diabetic, and for the officer, well, I'm going to pretend you are. I'm going to pretend everybody's diabetic because they could be lying to me. They could be luring me in. I'll give you your hearing, but I hope you're not wasting the court's time.
I won't.
So this is pre-trial hearing, right, for the appeal or whatever,
this is
whatever you call it specifically.
I'll give you your hearing. He's not happy about it, and I wouldn't be either because there's only one fucking sentence in all of that word salad that you said that gave me anything to actually give you this hearing. And it was the fact that apparently the report on the inventory had medication that would be used for a diabetic. So we'll see what the doctor has to say and what the police officer has to say, and maybe the previous lawyer. I could see a max of 3 witnesses being called here.
Yeah. I think if I am state lawyer, I'm probably calling the police officer just in case.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
But it is going to be his job to call the doctor.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you don't, all the state lawyer has to say, if you don't call the doctor, is just be like, well, Your Honor, it's hearsay. They don't have them here to confirm that.
And also, obviously, get the previous lawyer there so they have a right to address your accusations.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tina, the officer, Mr. Bologna, I know you said at one point he doesn't work for the department. I want that officer here. and I want to hear testimony. But I can tell you, honestly, Mr. Kolovis, I can't imagine any judge worth 13 cents throwing out a breathalyzer because they administered a breathalyzer to a diabetic who happened to tell them that they weren't diabetic.
So if the breathalyzer was not working properly.
Yeah, that's strict
you hear what I said?
liability.
You leave the results in.
If I administered a breathalyzer because the defendant told
Did
me
you fucking hear what I said,
he
bitch?
was not diabetic, yes, I would.
He also told him he wasn't drunk. It was to that.
Come on,
Okay.
I'm not going to argue.
Yeah,
about it
like,
with you.
come
I'm
on,
just
dude.
telling
I
you.
don't. Is this your wheelhouse, or are you just doing a favor for a friend?
Yeah.
Because you do not seem to be a effective DUI lawyer. Which, by the way, yes, that's an entire freaking section of law you can get into. You know, Attorney Larry Foreman on YouTube, the DUI guy.
He lied
So,
about his
like,
diabetes. How do you know he didn't lie about not being drunk? Like, okay, shut the fuck up, dude.
I do love the fact that, like, I would love if he said diabetes as diabetes and he did it with a southern accent because he would be
Diabetes.
just a character then. He's even got the bald head.
Hi, I'm Wilford
Like,
Brimley, and I have
Have you and a
diabetes.
loved one suffered from diabetes?
I have a feeling there's more to this, but I'll listen to it. We'll have a hearing. When are we going to do the hearing? I want to
Spoiler, there is more to it.
do this quickly.
Yes, clearly.
Do you want to do it 2 weeks, Judge, or how?
Yes, May 7th.
May 7th, you want to do 11
May
o'clock?
By the way, you called it right, by the way. As soon as he said that, he looked over to prosecution over there and said, okay, you need to subpoena that cop. I don't care that he doesn't work at that precinct anymore. He needs to be here for this.
Yeah.
Can we do it later in the morning? Because I'm in Ann Arbor again. That's where I was this morning. I had to drive right back there.
All right, let's do May 7th. Yeah, 11 o'clock?
Can we
You're going to subpoena?
May 2nd to May 10th, the family is on vacation.
To where?
For what? Why don't you tell the court?
They're going down to Florida for conference.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I needed to request a time between May 2nd to the May 10th. I tried to voice.
You got to keep your voice up.
I'm sorry, sir. I needed to request time for the May 2nd to the May 10th.
There's a medical conference.
I told my doctors for it. I'm sorry about that.
Let's.
You want to do it before then?
It's all right. It's not that big
Are
of
you
a
going to
deal.
be able to get somebody here before then, Mr. Bologna?
I have no clue on the officer's availability here, so I'll try my best.
Yeah, May 2nd's a
Spoiler,
little
this
soon.
case was from 2026. So today is May 6th. They were originally going to set it
Oh,
for
it
May
just happened.
7th.
And then he
Obviously,
changed it to May 2nd.
yeah, obviously they did make it into court because we have another video after this.
Yeah, so this is fresh. This just happened.
Yeah, this happened like 2 days ago.
No worries, Professor Keen. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good one.
What days?
Why don't you go call him real quick? See if you can get a hold of him.
I'll
Why
see.
don't you go?
Because
go,
I don't
you
want
can
to
make
put
a
this
phone call.
off to the 21st. I really don't.
Oh,
Can you-
yeah,
Maybe
that's...
next Thursday.
If everybody's available, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Your Honor, too.
That's April 30th, right?
Yes. Being that this is a Ginther hearing,
Wow,
though,
yeah.
the hearings to determine an effective assistance of counsel. Concern is we're going to get into the weeds and create some type of record now as it relates to evidence that wasn't even put forth before it was court in consideration of how we got here.
That's the effective system.
valid concern from the state.
Well, my view is should be more focused on, did counsel even know about this diabetes? Is there any evidence that counsel was aware of this?
Well, of course, that's all part of it.
I guess we'll find out.
They have to prove, essentially, that the defendant is diabetic. It was conveyed to
I like how this entire thing is two adults having a reasonable conversation and one man-child like throwing jabs in on the side and both sides just straight up ignoring him. Like, he keeps making comments and neither of them address it. They just keep talking to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
defense counsel. Defense counsel didn't pursue any kind of defense, period. That's generally speaking, but that's what they're going to have to prove. I think your point in your brief is well taken. Why I'm so frustrated is because I just can't imagine somebody, a lawyer, reading in a police report that his client admitted that he was not diabetic, or at least told the police he was not diabetic, and then faulting the lawyer for not pursuing a claim that the intoxilizer or breathalyzer shouldn't have been administered because he's a diabetic. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine somebody lying to the police about whether or not they're a diabetic. And even if he wanted to come in and claim that he was diabetic, if the officer's testimony is to be believed, let me be clear about this, how am I going to find that there's ineffective assistance of counsel? That being said, let's figure out what day we're going to do it. I will honor your client's
He's
ability
literally
to
going
leave the
a
state
bold
between
strategy,
May the
Cotton.
2nd and May
Let's
the
see what happens.
Yeah. Well, because people have to
Oh, hold on.
understand the only reason that he would lie about being diabetic is because he knew that if he told them that, they would take a blood draw and that it would definitely show up that he was drunk as shit. So instead, he just chose to lie about being diabetic so he could later try and get it thrown out.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hold on real quick. Papa Elfar just walked in. So we're watching a DUI case where apparently they're now doing this thing where they'll actually ask if you're diabetic or you have auto brewery syndrome. The guy says no. They go through the trial. He tries to get an appeal of ineffective use of counsel because now he's claiming he is diabetic. And the judge is like, I'll give you the fucking hearing, but let's see he's like, apparently he has proof. It's like, okay, bring in your doctor, bring in the motherfuckers. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so, the lawyer, though, the lawyer is really, really bad. Okay, he's gone.
10th.
How about 429 as well? Next Thursday.
I'll tell you what, I'll make it. Am I good that time, Heather?
On which date, Judge?
April 29th at 11.
Let me look at our docket.
Is that the 29th?
That's a Wednesday.
That's a
That's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Guys, let me just check something. The
30th is what I thought.
Yeah. Are you good at 11 on that day?
But, yeah,
Well, you're here with Judge Hessen.
I'll be here.
Why don't we do it at
I can
You do have a trial at 11 on the 30th,
what kind?
a domestic violence.
Let's do it at 1 on the 30th.
That'd be perfect.
Now, here's the thing, though. If either one of you can't get your officer here, can't get the doctor here, then we're going to have to adjourn it. So you guys can be big boys and
Yeah.
figure out a time with my judicial clerk, okay?
It's great.
April 30th at 1, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
All right. If you can just write those up for me, Tony, the other warrants or whatever they are, show causes.
FTAs you're at? Those?
Yeah,
Okay. I have the names. I'll take care of it.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So then we get he actually shows up.
I want somebody to tell me why I'm in here and we're talking about diabetes and I have no piece of paper from any doctor telling me he had diabetes or even pre-diabetes, and he denied it to the police officer. So you're going to find on these records, besides talking about a 5.7 rating, which tells us maybe they're going to be diabetic down the road. I've been going to doctors too. I want a straight answer here. Did you ever write in any of those records, diagnosis, the subject is diabetic? Yes. Then I want to see it. Regarding the court's denial of defense motion to set aside plea based on the claim of ineffective assistance of counsel. Actually, it's not really a reconsideration. I mean, you did mention that in your motion to withdraw the plea, that you felt like there was error by previous counsel, but you really didn't file a motion to ask for to ask the court to find that there was ineffective assistance of counsel. You only filed a motion to withdraw the plea.
Number 4, fourth paragraph, of my motion, the defendant files this motion for reconsideration based upon the issue of
And you can see it up here. The judge actually does not have the zoom on yet, which is why they just have this in the background.
Okay.
But don't worry, we'll get there.
ineffective assistance of counsel.
Well, I mean, you said it in here, but it wasn't a motion. So I'm just trying to clarify for the record. You never really asked me to find that there was ineffective assistance of counsel before. When you first filed your motion to withdraw the plea, it was based on the fact that the sentencing hadn't occurred as of yet, and the defendant should be permitted to allow them, you can correct me, but I thought your initial motion that you filed was to withdraw the plea based on the fact that there had not been sentencing and the plea was not going to, the withdrawal of the plea was not going to prejudice the prosecutor, and defendant is entitled to it under the court rule, at least in the court's discretion. Fair enough?
Right, and in the interest of justice.
Right, and I denied that, but you didn't really, and you did indicate in that motion that you felt, or at least on the record, I remember, that you said something to the effect that he wasn't
That was
advised.
a good one. Sorry, that was really fucking funny. It's like, yeah, in the interest of justice. Yeah, which I denied.
Advised by counsel of the fact that the intoxilizer would not provide a accurate result if somebody is diabetic. You did say that on the record, but you really didn't ask me to find that there was ineffective assistance of counsel until this motion was filed. You agree with that, right?
By looking at the first motion, that is correct.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, you're now asking me to adjourn so you can subpoena the attorney, and
The attorney, Judge, we had a bad conference, and the attorney was confirmed with my client, and last night,
what do you mean the attorney was confirmed with your client?
the Ed Zelenak was to show today. I was hoping it was at 1 o'clock. He sent him and said, I can't make it. I have a trial downtown Detroit in juvenile court in the afternoon. And my client asked, name of the judge. And
Well, had your client talked to him since the last hearing and Mr. Zelnick agreed to appear? Is that what you're telling me?
did you talk to him since the last hearing and he's going to show up for it?
Or did he just call him yesterday for the first time and ask that he appear, at which point Mr. Zelnick told him that he was not available?
So he texted yesterday. That's how they communicate.
Had you talked to him before yesterday since the
Yesterday, yeah.
last hearing?
I have not, yesterday I spoke with him.
Yeah, but you didn't contact him after the last hearing until yesterday. Is that true or false?
Also, next time we have to appear, I immediately.
Wait
Oh, he said he immediately contacted him when he knew he had to appear.
a minute. Mr. Pest, I want you to listen to my question. After the last hearing, did you call or text Mr. Zelnick in reference to the fact that you needed him to appear as a witness at any point before yesterday? Yes or no?
I did not know, so no.
Okay. So there was no contact with either
Fucking
one of you.
idiot.
Yeah. So for people who
Okay,
could not
so
hear
Judge,
it very
just adjourn
well,
it.
he is
Just adjourn it. He literally said, if you guys don't have your people here, and you made no effort, you made no fucking effort, you contact him the day before.
oh, it's
Yeah,
so
okay, I'm
funny.
gonna gloat.
It's so funny. He basically says that, like, yeah, no, he didn't
I'm immediately
bother
pissed off.
to get people to show up to court for him until the day before.
That's the, oh God, you gotta be kidding me.
With Mr. Zelnick until yesterday.
By the way, I'm gonna put it on 1.25 just because it is so long, but I'm not going any further than
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
At which point Mr. Zelnick told you he could not appear. Is that true or false?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And my client confirmed, as you put it on the record at the last hearing, that he was contacting Ed Zelenak. They're sort of close, that he'll be here at the hearing.
So I don't remember him saying that.
No, he never said that. You, Your Honor, said that there's going to be, we talked, and I said Mr. Zelenak, ineffective assistance of counsel, all that. Then you gave us today's date at 1 o'clock.
No, I realize that, but I'm just saying, I didn't tell, the only thing I told either one of you is I wanted the officer to appear, because the defense here is that, as I just outlined, that the defendant is apparently saying he was diabetic, breathalyzer couldn't have been, or intoxilizer could not have been accurate.
Okay, yeah. To be fair, the two people that are required, the previous attorney doesn't necessarily need to be there. The judge was adamant, though, that the arresting officer and the doctor be there. Otherwise, he's adjourning it. So that's the correction for me. He
Yeah.
didn't really care about the lawyer.
Yeah, the
Because of
lawyer's
that,
kind of
And
whatever.
there's ineffective assistance of counsel because the defense lawyer didn't pursue that angle. But here now, I told the officer I wanted to be here because when I read the police report, or I told Mr. Bologna to bring in the officer, because when I read the police report, it clearly stated that the defendant was asked by the arresting officer as to whether or not he was diabetic, and he said no, which to me would mean, if I'm the defense lawyer and I read that, I'm not even talking to my client about a diabetic condition, because the police, but so now we've got the officer here,
Yeah.
you got a tape here, and you said initially here just now at the bench conference that you're prepared to stipulate to the admission of the video, and that you're prepared to stipulate that it was clear that the arresting officer, and sir, I'd like you to identify yourself, please.
Officer J. Fieldman.
Asked or inquired of Mr. Pastor if he was diabetic, and it was clear that Mr. Pastor indicated in response thereto that no, he is not a diabetic. Is that true?
That's correct.
So you're stipulating to that,
I'm stipulating.
His name is
and you're stipulating to the admission of the
Pastor.
video.
That's fucking hilarious.
correct.
All right, then
Yeah.
let's proceed with the hearing. I'll receive that as People's One. And with that admission, unless you want to call the officer or you want to ask the officer any questions, I'll be happy to let you do that, Mr. Clovis, too. But I'm going to go ahead and admit People's Number One, which is the video, with that further provision that the defendant stipulates that that the officer inquired of him as to whether or not he was diabetic.
There we go. There's the court. Took it
There
a
we
minute.
go. Yeah, I just told my chat, guys, pastor is a type of taco in Mexico. It's called tacos de pastor. It's fucking hilarious that this dude's name, he's just named after a taco.
Couple things. We see that he has shown up in a suit today, and this is our police
Yeah, he
officer over
has, yeah.
here. Very, very Chad-like police officer over here.
It does look like a rental though,
Yeah.
or a loader. It doesn't look like he had that, he took that to the tailor.
Also, think it's adorable. The prosecutor has like a little iPad up on a kickstand instead of a laptop. It just looks so funny because of
Yes,
how small it
amazing.
is.
It does.
And he clearly stated that he was not at the scene. Okay, fair enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for the record,
Yes.
I have a flash drive that I'll put into evidence, which has the videos on it. You should be able to watch this. And on the video, Officer Fields, it's at approximately 6 minutes, 20 seconds on that video, or the admissions video.
Okay,
And I'm stipulating to it.
but I'll receive that into evidence anyway.
Thanks, Your Honor.
That's what makes this
You know what's
entire
even
case so
crazier?
funny, though, is the officer specifically asked about this specific thing that is semi-uncommon for them to ask about, and you still said
yeah,
no.
it's no. Some have started to, but no, this is not. This is not like a common thing. So it's.
It's so
I don't
funny
know.
that he actually did
all I
ask about
know
it.
Is, that's almost even weirder, right? But like, more importantly, like the judge is going to look at this and like, you're not going to win this. You're not going to get out of this DUI, and he's going to just go back to sentencing and go, you know what? I'm applying a few aggravating factors here because you fucking wasted the absolute shit out of the court's time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, now, so you can call your first witness and we will go from there.
Okay, Your Honor, I got one more.
If you want to go ahead and give an opening statement, I don't have a problem. If you want to do that, Mr. Bologna, that's fine too. You can both give one or waive your right to give one.
Your Honor, I'm going to have a tough time pronouncing this name.
Okay.
So I think it's best that I spell it.
Okay,
It's Doctor, and then it's K-H-A-L. Is it A-L or A-T? It's T-I-P. Excuse me, K-H-A-T-I-B-S-H So you were A-H. A-H-I-D-I.
So it's KHATIBSHAHID.
I-D-I.
IDI. I'm sorry. Dr.
Dr.
Katashidi? Is it Dr. Katashidi? Katip Shahidi. I think it's
Katashidi.
Katip.
Holy fucking crap. What a name.
Hatip Shahidi. Katip
Just
Shahidi.
what a name. I'm not even gonna fucking try to pronounce it. I'm just saying, what a fucking name.
Please go up here and be sworn.
Can you ask her first one?
Ma'am, and when you come up here, I'm going to ask you to pronounce it and state your first name for me. Will you do that, please? No, right up to the witness chair here.
God damn it,
afternoon.
Shiono's
Can you
epic.
raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole truth? So help you God.
Yeah.
All right, have a seat. What is your first name?
Batul Bita.
I'm sorry.
Batul Bita.
Can you spell that?
BATUL dash B as in boy ITA.
Bahul Bita Katip Shahidi.
Listen. Listen, I don't know what's happening right now, what country I'm in, but that name I will never pronounce in a million years. Not because I don't like
Bita Katip
But
Shahidi.
because I'm physically incapable.
Batul Bita. And then the last name, pronounce again for me, is Katip Shahidi.
Latovito.
Okay, thank you very much. You can
Katip
proceed.
Shahidi, my
Okay,
god.
Thank you. Doctor, first, thank you for coming here today. How do you know my client?
Collaborating physician.
Collaborating physician?
Collaborating physician.
What does that mean?
I've been with him in the sidelines with monitoring his blood glucose levels because of his family history as well as his own with diabetes, coronary artery disease, bilateral carotid artery plaque, which is significant for diabetics.
What is your specialty? What type of...
Family medicine.
Okay, so you're a family doctor, and you're monitoring his blood glucose levels, as well as what?
His blood pressure, heart rate,
Anything else?
his basic labs, regular labs, cholesterol levels, carotid arteries, heart. I've seen him stress test.
How long have you been seeing him? How long has he been a patient of yours?
Well, he's been a patient of Dr. Kaza, family medicine physician, and I was collaboration with her
How many times have you seen Mr. Pastor?
more than a few, more than throughout the years.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Don't worry. We're going to learn a lot of fun stuff about the doctor. I don't want to spoil it,
Yeah, no, neither am I. I did read the title though.
What is the difference between prediabetes and diabetes?
Well, prediabetes is a diagnosis with the A1C at 5.7 to 6.4, and diabetes is 6.4 and up. In the case of diabetics, to consider diabetic, anyone with an A1C above 5.7 with a history of high blood pressure is considered diabetic, even though the range is 5.7 on lab. And we have, in the study of high blood pressure history and heart disease and family history, we consider diabetes treated as such to prevent it from getting worse.
Okay, thank
And
you.
he has hypoglycemia as well.
I'm just going to put this out for a moment. When I get blood testing done, it's like sometimes 8, 9, and he says it should be 7 or closer to 7. What does that mean?
Depending on age and risk factors, below 7 is safe in some people. However, the actual is 6.4 is considered diabetes. 5.7 is considered diabetes when you have history of high blood pressure, family history, and risk factors.
So 5.7 is, I thought you said it was pre-diabetic.
Five,
Yeah, it's
5.7
pre-diabetic.
to 6.4 is
She's
pre-diabetic.
qualifying too much.
Correct, sir. However, when you have a history of high blood pressure, family history, anyone with A1C 5.7 and up is considered diabetic to be treated as such.
Look, I don't know. Look, I have not like a ton of experience in the medical field or anything like that, but the medical field is very fucking autistic with their labeling and their fucking standards, their tests and stuff like that. In some order to all that way. And you're not going to, because he has a history of this and this, he somehow gets to be diabetic when he only has pre-diabetic numbers. That's not how this works. This is some coping motherfucking shit right here. From a doctor, no less. That's crazy.
She's gonna go in circles on this a lot. And the judge is gonna
Oh, I can
constantly
tell she is.
the judge is gonna constantly like, can we like actually get in on this?
But how does it affect? So what happens is people who are diabetic, when they do the breathalyzer, it can fuck with the breathalyzer's results, and it can sometimes produce false positives. So what happens is if you are a diabetic, usually what ends up happening is if you're suspected of driving under the influence, you're then taken to the station or to the hospital for a blood draw, where they are more able to accurately determine whether or not alcohol is in your system without relying on the false positives that a breathalyzer can actually create to someone with diabetes, autoimmune syndrome, even some things that you eat. If you eat a lot of it, can actually just produce a false positive.
Yeah.
Such, not meaning insulin, meaning you do the risk factor modification to prevent it from getting worse. Eye doctors, all the eye doctors consider diabetes 5.7 and up. Doesn't matter whether it's pre-diabetes. They call it.
Did she just say
Do you have
all
your
the
medical records
doctors?
with you,
Yeah.
Mr. Pastor? Okay. Go ahead.
That's crazy.
So,
She is all the doctors.
for instance, let's say I'm 8 or 7.
All the
And they call
doctors
me
agree with me.
pre-diabetic.
We
Would that
have
be
the best
correct or
doctors,
no?
the most perfect doctors.
Thank you. What is, you already talked about pre-diabetic. Just pre-diabetic, do you know about acetones?
Absolutely.
And please explain what acetone is.
Acetones are what can build up in your blood with significant stress on muscles or with fasting, and build up because your body goes into a state of ketosis, becoming acidotic, to compensate for the blood glucose levels that are high or low, depending on the exertion level and.
Thank you for this super internet, Zen. It says, I'm used to foreign names and accents since Seattle area was a melting pot all my life, for better or worse. But even I was like, what in the H1B?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm like, I'm decent with foreign names as well, but that one just fucking got me.
Khatib Shahidi.
Khatib Shahidi. Okay, I can say it. Just when he was just trying to pronounce it, I'm like, dude, you're throwing keys and other things that don't go near H's, and what are you doing? What twisted words have you created in the words of Alduin?
Yeah, and then as Ava mentioned a minute ago, it's kind of funny that she's kind of trumping it up here, going, I have talked to all the doctors, they all agree with me, I am the best doctor. Like, no,
When
you
I
don't.
heard the phrase "all the doctors," that's fucking wild to hear. Girl, you're on stand. That wouldn't even be acceptable to say in a research paper of your peers, let alone at court.
And you're
That doctors.
not like some super skilled, like, I'm not saying that her position is easy to get to, but you're not some super skilled, world-renowned surgeon. You're a fucking family med doctor. Sit down with this. All the doctors
Yeah,
agree
you're
with
not on
me.
the cutting edge of research and scientific like papers and stuff that like major hospitals will like be a part of and get their doctors involved in. You're a family practice. You're not doing that.
All the doctors agree with me.
Whether you're
I
fasting or
aced. He aced his diabetes test.
Yeah, aced his diabetes
Isn't that bad?
test.
Yes, it's actually really bad, but he aced it.
If someone is diabetic or pre-diabetic, will the acetones be higher?
yes,
Is it a form of ethanol?
is not a form of ethanol. It's acetone.
Okay.
Is a type of,
Good job.
I guess, acid in the body, same as ethanol, but it's different.
Can that be emitted out of your mouth when you talk or blow?
Yes,
Will it, if somebody's pre-diabetic or diabetic, are they usually on medication of some sort?
yes.
What type of medication was?
So what's fun here is what is happening is exactly what the prosecutor was right about. He said in the last video, look, I'm just worried if we get this hearing, we're going to get lost in the weeds when really it's about ineffective use of counsel, not about the fucking details of diabetes and how it can cause a false positive. We are officially in the wheat. The prosecutor predicted this very correctly.
Yeah.
of my client.
Metformin.
And what is that?
Metformin is for diabetes, 1,000 milligrams once or twice a day.
Okay, did he take any shots?
No,
Okay. And you said he takes prescribed once or twice a day?
metformin, yes, and that is known to cause metabolic acidosis in people who are fasting, which is why you do not give it when you're admitted in hospital, because you're already not eating as much, you're already in fasting mode. So anyone who is on metformin at home is not on metformin when you're in the hospital, because you become acidotic. It makes ketones in your urine, in your breath. That's why his CO2 was high in his blood levels too, which is reported in his labs, as well as can be detected as acetone in the breath. That's how you can tell.
If you're going to measure by an instrument, measure somebody's blood alcohol content, and somebody blows into it, the tube or whatever, blows into it, would it be accurate if somebody has these acetones as a pre-diabetic?
No,
Why wouldn't it be?
because you're already acidotic and on metformin and being fasting.
She's not a toxicologist, right?
You're not,
She's not a toxicologist.
but you could testify to acetones. Do you do that in practice?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
And
I just want you to know, I'm not gonna consider that testimony. She's not a qualified toxicologist. So I'm gonna strike that.
all right, but you did state earlier, if I heard you right, that
This is interesting.
these higher acetones will come out of a person's mouth that is a pre-diabetic or diabetic.
This has to be really bad because judges usually don't strike something from the record unless it's objected to.
Yeah.
So this is
it's funny
really
he just
not
says, yeah,
good.
no, strike
This
that
is
shit.
not yeah. Yeah, no. The fact that he did that and there was no objection or anything to warrant that, it means one, he's way too locked in on your argument and he's fucking throwing out what he knows to be bullshit. And if that's your position in this court and he is no longer an unbiased arbitrator, he's lost. It's time to rest.
Yeah. Game over.
Yes,
And if somebody was measuring that, would it be, how high are they than normal? Is there a way
quantitatively, I have to see on the what your measurement level is, if it's nanogram per deciliter or milligram per liter, depending on how you measure it in the blood versus breath. It's
no
fine.
matter what, they would be higher?
You cannot, that is not appropriate. She is not qualified
Yeah.
to testify to that.
This is
You're-
ridiculous.
No. You're gonna have to get a toxicologist. You should have brought a toxicologist in here then. Ma'am, let me ask you a question. When did you have all your records relating to Mr. Pastor?
Yeah.
When is the first time you saw him? And take your time reviewing those records.
2020, 2019.
Okay? And you talked about these levels as to diabetes.
So it's not uncommon for, at the end of a testimony, a judge to have questions. But if a judge stops your testimony specifically to start asking his questions, you have not asked a single thing he actually needs answered.
Yeah, this is basically we're watching this lawyer crash and burn.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening here.
And the judge is like, okay, like, fucking stop. You haven't asked a single question that is
And
relevant
nobody's
to what she's
stopping the
supposed to
judge
testify.
either because that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Everybody
Like,
knows he's just
technically
right.
speaking, you could add, like, prosecution, defense, anyone here could actually, hey, judge, you're not an investigator. You're an arbitrator. What's happening, right? But no, it's so bad, and he is so in the weeds that this guy literally has to go fishing him back out with
Yeah.
the right questions. We saw this happen a little bit with the Debbie Heard trial with Hart's lawyer. She kept trying to ask the same question to the point where one of the sidebars, the fucking judge had to suggest a question to ask because that's how fucking stuck she was.
Exactly.
Pre-diabetic. Tell me what his levels were in you said 2020, correct?
Correct.
What were his levels at that juncture?
Fasting glucose levels were 120 and up, which is considered diabetic. A1C, I don't have the 2020 records of A1C, but then fasting glucose above 120 is considered diabetes when you're fasting.
Did you write I presume you wrote your diagnosis in your records.
Correct. I have the diagnosis in the records.
Oh my god!
You,
Thank you so much.
any
hold on.
physician, correct me.
Super chat. Thank you so much, Cerberus, for the 10. I am all the doctors. I am all the practices. I am all the disciplines. I am the best. I can verify everyone I can verify that everyone verifies I am Dr. Avatar.
Also, it went away, but okay, there it is. Somebody left me a comment. It says the Mimi stream is displaying in Japanese. Did it do it again? Why?
Wait, what?
This is the second time YouTube has just taken it upon themselves to fully change one of my streams to Japanese.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, title and everything.
That's really weird.
Is just changed to Japanese.
YouTube, stop changing the language of our videos. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Reverse new colonization? But like, what the fuck? Also, I don't trust you guys to properly translate Japanese. His stream is in Japanese now. Yeah, my chat's reporting it too. That's fucking hilarious. Are you changing it back?
Yeah, it changed title and description language to Japanese, like, on its own. Here, if I change it back, will it sort its shit out on its own? What?
What?
I changed it back, saved it, and it immediately swapped back to Japanese.
Well, sorry, Mizu. I guess you're Japanese now.
Yo, chat here. I gotta show this to chat really quick. This is fucking wild. So, chat, this is the back end of the Mimi stream right now. And you can see title, description, language, Japanese. Click, scroll up, English. Save. Swaps back to Japanese immediately. What the fuck?
Again, you're just Japanese now. I don't make the rules.
Here, English United States.
Arigato,
Japanese.
Mizutamari-kun.
This is the second time they've done this with one of my videos, and I don't know what causes it. I genuinely
That's
have no idea how I'm
crazy.
supposed to fix it.
I mean, I guess you'll have to fix it after the stream.
Yeah, I'll probably have to just go through and like manually edit the whole thing. Like,
That's
I don't know what
fucking
else they want
crazy.
from me.
Brings a new term to turning Japanese. I think of turning.
If I'm wrong, they typically go through histories,
Yes.
conduct tests, and then they come up with a diagnosis, correct?
Correct.
Show me the first time that you diagnosed him in your records with being diabetic. I don't see any reason to not have those marked, right?
Just so it's not a public record, can't tell you medical records.
Mr. Bologna?
It's a public record. If it's put in evidence, you can just redact and sensitive information before they're actually part of the record. But no, I think that should be, if this is the record they want to major on.
I think they have to be.
Maisie,
So
do you have a VPN on?
I agree with
I do
the
not.
record. I just think it's anything sensitive.
Okay, so that's not it.
We haven't seen these.
well, I think we should have
Now,
them
this
marked.
is a problem.
Defense
She's
one.
doing. Look at how much
You
searching
agree,
she's
Mr.
doing.
Cole?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So let's have them marked and received as defense one, and I'll be happy to give you an opportunity if you'd like to go back and to
These are, this is what,
redact whatever you'd like. In other words, you can't redact it without.
I'm sorry.
that's a glucose.
Okay. Well, can we just, there's 3 items here. Can we just call it all defense, number 1?
Yeah, as long as it's copies of all of her records
These are all the.
that she has maintained with regard to Mr. Pastor.
Which ones were you asking? Do you-
I think we should
Thank you, Internet Zen, for the 5.
Oh my
Clearly,
God.
Thomas Loxley is writing a book on Mizu as a follow-up to his barn burner fantasy novel about Japan's most famous samurai Yasuke.
Of course.
By the way,
I can't believe that guy did that.
By the way, I just went to the video. I replaced the entire thing with English, and it is still refusing to change it to English.
Yeah, again, you're just Japanese though.
I
I'm
have no
sorry.
idea what's causing this.
Where were you when Mizu was kidnapped by the Japanese?
And I hate it because I think it like genuinely damages the reach on my video because people assume it's a Japanese video.
It shows English now on my end. Nico Manhara Fox is saying that it shows as English.
Well, because I manually changed it. Like I sat down myself and changed the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
His first time.
Well, I think we should have all of our records as it relates to Mr. Pastor marked as defense one. If you want to take a minute and go through and redact those, or the doctor needs us to make copies, we can make copies, and then we can go from there.
Can we go over them together so I can see which one is appropriate?
I mean, this is all about whether or not he's diabetic.
Correct.
I'm not looking to have his medical
There's
history divulged.
Jesus.
So if it relates, but I think I still need a clean copy. You need your original copy, and then there should probably be a redacted copy that's marked as defense one.
I would also ask the prosecutor, based upon this evidence, would you stipulate that he's a pre?
I have another thing to add, by the way. So up until now, my Mimi stream has been demonetized because I said a whole bunch of stuff in that stream that was obviously going to get demonetized. Apparently,
Right.
it getting forcibly changed to Japanese also remonetized it.
That's kind of amazing.
So, okay, YouTube,
Silver
whatever the fuck
linings.
you're doing.
You're Japanese now.
I have no idea what this platform is doing. Like, holy shit, dude.
Of course, YouTube Japan is doing way better on the fucking censorship and demonetization front than us
Apparently,
Westerners. The snowflakes chat.
Why not?
Wait a minute now. It's not your turn to ask questions. Come on. Well, don't be confused. You let the lawyers do the work, and I'll do the work. I wouldn't tell you how to be a physician, right? I wouldn't. So don't start questioning why the prosecutor isn't stipulating, or why Mr. Golobus isn't stipulating, or why anybody's asking any questions here today. I'll be happy to take the original records, make copies, 2 of them, one that will be returned to you, the original, plus one that we will have in a redacted form if it's going to suppress information that is not involved. And then, in other words,
Understand, Judge.
and then another copy that's at least a clean copy.
Yeah, these are.
Did you find an area where you said in the diagnosis that he was diabetic, doctor?
Blood work.
I don't know. Come on. I asked you. I've been going to doctors too. I want a straight answer here. Did you ever write in any of those records diagnosis, the subject is diabetic? Then I want to see them. Where are they?
Are they here? Just pull them out.
Well, it's not in here. Not diagnosed that was blood works.
Here is the diagnosis that you can send.
Why would you not bring all of your records?
I didn't know why I needed to bring it. So I'm sorry.
Well, go get them.
You have.
Go get them. This hearing is going on today. And really, go get them.
Oh
Have them send them
man,
to you.
you
They can
guys
email
are in
them
so
to
much
us. They
trouble.
can fax them to us. I don't need anybody to see anything, but I want to see all your records. Where's your office?
Newport.
Have them send them over. Have them send them over right now. We're taking a recess on these. Would you go get Mr. Holmberg and Mr. Cayley on this other case, please? We'll take a recess. Stay seated. You're good, Officer Field. All right.
Man,
While we're waiting
I
for the
hope
records,
we're wearing our shitting pants.
is there anybody else
because
you
that
can call?
doctor's gonna be shitting in their pants.
Well, I'll call my client, like I say, and I'll have doctor testify. Do you want the doctor first?
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Watashi
I think
wa
we should probably
Mizutamari.
have Mr. Pastor first while we're awaiting this doctor's records, and then we can go to that doctor.
Okay, sir, would you step over here and be sworn to take the stand?
This is where it's going to get very fun. and things are going to
Dude,
immediately
the judge
spiral.
looks like he's about to jump up and start throwing things.
Could result in JP Rose finding out about
rightfully so
Mizu's
too, by the way,
existence.
because
Maybe.
he's right on the sun. Like something doesn't smell right at all here, and it's yeah.
Doesn't the judge have to do a warrant to get the medical records? No, because this guy
No.
is claiming his
They've
medical
opened the
records
door.
would exonerate him. So now he has to provide
so
them.
So he's opened the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an instance in which HIPAA's not going to protect you.
Yeah. You are using your medical records as an affirmative defense, so you have to actually provide them. You can't just say, oh, like, I know I'm using them as a defense, but I don't have to show them to you.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
All right. Sir, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God.
So help me God.
Okay, have a seat. You may proceed.
Sir, have you been diagnosed with any medical conditions?
Yes, I have.
And what medical conditions do you suffer from today?
I have pre-diabetes still, and also I have diabetes.
And how long have you had, or at least been told, that you had pre-diabetes from a doctor?
The whole episode has started right after it happened.
I see we're back
Can you
to
give me a list?
pre-diabetic.
Yep.
It started late 19, 20s, and then it got really, really bad till 24.
It got bad in 24?
It got bad.
Okay.
It got really bad. It really started after I got the polio shot because
Well, that's okay. Just answer his question. It started in 19 or 20, and it got bad in 24.
yeah, late 20s.
Okay.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Around 1920, yeah.
Is it regulated? Are you given any medicine for the
Hey, you got a COVID shot? 24?
Yes, so I have been prescribed.
What?
Due to all the different medical conditions, I was prescribed.
Just for diabetes. Let's just talk about your diet. Let's just talk about your diet. Just answer his questions.
Yes.
Have you been prescribed any medication for pre-diabetic condition?
And please speak up.
Yes, I have. So I have been prescribed metformin since late 2019, and I've been on 1,000 milligrams of metformin daily ever since then.
Did you say 1,000 milligrams?
Yes, sir. And I have my prescription records with me of that from my pharmacy.
And okay. And did you suffer from diabetes? I'm sorry.
Did you say you were diagnosed as a diabetic or pre-diabetes?
Well, it is a pre-diabetes, but ideally it is. Some people consider diabetes. Some people consider.
Who told you that you were a pre-diabetic?
Oh, Jesus
Who told
Christ.
you?
Couple of doctors.
What
Yeah.
doctors?
Pre-diabetic.
What doctors?
One was Dr. Castle.
How do you spell it?
KASCA.
Oh, nice try,
Okay.
bitch.
Where's he out of?
She.
Did you see that?
What?
These two behind here. She's fucking signaling.
Yeah.
Well, you've answered. She's, I know, me, like, literally, they're trying to, oh my God.
Don't worry.
He's lucky that, I mean, look, they're really lucky the judge is so locked in to the witness right now because their line of sight, they can't see what these two are doing. But, like, these guys are literally trying to fucking gauge answers in the fucking gallery in front of the judge.
Clearly on camera.
And when did she tell you were diabetic?
My other primary was Dr. Janeski.
How do you spell Janeski?
JANSKI.
And where's Dr. Janeski at?
Out of Riverview as well.
When did Dr. Kaza tell you that you were pre-diabetic?
Officially, it was in 22 when I received my blood work back from.
Listen, just answer my question. I don't need to hear that.
I didn't exactly.
Just tell me when Dr. Kaza told you were pre-diabetic. Your answer was 22, correct?
2.
All right, when did Dr. J...
State prosecutor is having literally the easiest day of his life in court.
Dude, he's just chilling.
He's probably over there playing Clash of Clans or some shit. He's like, I don't even have to pay attention. The
I
judge
would
is going to
be.
do the whole thing for me.
You look over, it's Genshin Impact.
I don't know, whatever it is, the officer's interested in it too. Like, more interested than whatever happened
they're
in
freaking
here.
having a great look. You say, wow, you're up like $20. Yeah, I'm up in this courtroom too.
Janeski tell you were pre-diabetic?
Prior to it, because I was already.
Prior to 22?
Yes. Because I already had elevated levels of glucose at that time.
I don't need to hear that. I just want you to answer my question.
So, yeah, right about the,
Prior to 22,
yes.
like how much prior to 22?
About a year, I think, just because I've already started taking metformin about a year prior to that.
So 2021 is about when you started taking the metformin,
Yeah.
and that's when Dr. Jansky told you were pre-diabetic.
Yes.
And then
Now,
Dr.
wait a
Kaz-
minute. What happened to taking metformin late 2019?
Yeah.
That's a difference of a couple years.
told you were pre-diabetic in 22.
22.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. Nerdy takes an accountant for the 10.
Was being prescribed. Tell me who we prescribed.
The judge is already done with the guy.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
He's not letting any little thing get by with it. Yeah, no. At this point, at this point, like they could just go for a like they could go to the bar across the courtroom steps and just freaking just chill. The judge has taken over this case, and it's in a way that like I'm like one, this guy's gonna get a hefty sentencing. Two, this lawyer is in trouble. This kind of fucking bullshit and wasting on this level, fucking bringing in this witness who clearly there's something off about that witness. I mean, this is sanctionable.
Yeah.
That's kind of the big thing I'm saying.
ETEMEDI?
M-A-D-I.
Where's he out of?
She's out of Riverview.
Riverview. Were all three of these doctors together?
No, different practices.
What? Three different practices?
I presume on September 1st, 2025, that you were either pre-diabetic or diabetic, am I correct?
Yes, I was soon.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear your answer.
I said yes.
Okay.
So you were pre-diabetic in September of 25?
Listen,
Okay, go ahead.
still on medicine as of today. Are you
Notice how like we keep like changing the dates around constantly.
Dude,
We're all over the place.
Where we have swum around in a timeline of 6 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
still taking medicine for diabetes?
everyone?
Hey, you know
And
what?
it's
No. What
1,000
year do you
milligrams
think
still?
it is right now?
And is that to balance out your sugar?
Yes, sir. And also going for hypoglycemia as well.
Okay, I want you
Oh,
to
2011 to
stick
12,
with what the
obviously.
judge says. When I ask you the question, just answer it, no narrative. An example is what time is it? I'll tell you how the clock's been. Just tell me the time, okay?
Okay.
That's how the judge wants it. All right. The now, did there come a
That
time
was
when
good,
you
that was
retained
good.
Mr. Edward Zelenak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did you retain him to represent you concerning this case that we're talking about today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did he ever tell you that diabetes, pre-diabetes, will cause acetones and a breathalyzer reading is not accurate? Did he ever tell you that?
Yes, sir.
It's never the year of the rooster, it's the year of the
Hang on.
diabetes.
She's objecting. Any response?
I mean, I gotta have zone in here. My client is testifying of the ineffective assistance of counsel.
Any further response, Mr. Bologna?
He's asking for what a third party stated out of court.
You know, I'll rephrase it, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll withdraw.
You should not have even
Did
tried,
he
brother.
just got hearsayed?
Yeah.
He just got hearsayed. Holy, that's fucking, guys, the fucking irony
Because
of him getting hearsayed.
he specifically asked
when
him what
that's
his doctor
entire
told him.
argument. Okay, yeah, that would get it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you so much, R13 Cerberus, for another 10. I am all the diabetes. Pre, post, type 1, type 2, beatus. I was diagnosed by all the doctors. They're the best doctors. I have all the records for them. 2019, 2022, 2023, 2011 to 12. I am Avatar Brimley.
I'll have to rephrase it. How many times did you meet with Mr.
Oh my god,
Zelenak
another
during the
10. What
representation
is
of this
happening?
case?
Nerdy texts an account and thank you again for another 10. Oh, I gotta do that to them so I can see that they've been liked. With you noticing the signaling, it makes me wonder if Judge or Quince looked through the video and if they noticed it too. Also, would they do anything if they did see it? So I was kind of locked in on her after I saw the initial movements, and I would say that maybe she wasn't signaling so much as she was placing her hand over her rosary or cross necklace or something, because she kept doing the same thing. and it wasn't changing. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think that was a signal now.
Yeah.
I think she's just nervous. I think it's what's known as a nervous manipulator.
Too many times.
How many?
Many.
Many. And was it ever
He just
mentioned
starts
by
crying.
you that you were pre-diabetic or diabetic?
It hasn't mentioned, I'll be real.
Listen, did you, hang on. Did you hear his question? First of all, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Repeat your question and keep your voice up and just answer the question. Go ahead.
Thank you. Listen to the question, and it's a yes or a no. Okay. And did Mr. Zellman, while his representation with you, he meeting with you on several times, did he ever ask you if you were a diabetic or a pre-diabetic?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell him that you were a diabetic?
So, something that's interesting that's happened here, because what's happening is not actually normal. This would technically be direct examination, not cross. Cross-examination is where you deal with leading questions, aka yes or no questions. This man has been so unresponsive that judge, without actually receiving the request to treat the witness as a hostile witness, which allows someone on direct to actually ask leading questions, that judge just immediately, no, this is what you're gonna do. Ask him leading questions. We gotta get through this. This is retarded. So that's what's happening here. Because I know a couple people are like, why the hell is direct being forced to ask leading questions? Because that's how shit of a witness is.
I told him I was a pre-diabetic, yes.
And when the officer asked you if you were a diabetic,
Also, really quick,
Thank you, Misa,
thank
for the
you.
two.
I was gonna say thank you, Mihano, for the super across heaven and earth. He alone is the diabetic one.
He look. Oh my god.
And then you had one.
Yeah, the Honorable Judge David Hasselhoff.
you said no. Why did you say no?
Because I'm a pre-diabetic.
That you're not a diabetic.
Correct. So I didn't want to put inaccurate information. That's why I didn't put that, because a pre-diabetic is not diabetic. So I didn't really know the difference. Now I learned the difference now after all this time. So I did not know the difference whatsoever.
Respect with the issues. Okay.
Oh
And
my god.
do you understand now through your treatment that diabetic is an elevated amount of fluid?
Yes.
And pre-diabetic is still elevated, but not as high. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's all I have, Judge.
Any questions, Mr. Bologna?
Yes, thank you.
Artemis is he's the
Jesus,
alpha,
Jesus.
the omega, the diabetes. I love that this whole case centers around diabetes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I heard ineffective use of counsel mentioned once about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Pastor,
We
how
are
you?
indeed in the weeds.
Good. I'm good.
Oh, here we go. Oh, cross.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
this is gonna be great.
I don't be in the office.
You got to keep your voice up, please.
Medical office.
Okay, which medical office do you live in?
He work at special care.
Dude, that judge is about to kill you.
Yeah.
You
Speak
said
up.
special care?
Yes, sir.
Where's that located?
So he review Michigan.
What do you do at Special Care OBGYN?
Help with management.
You help with management?
Yes. This is Michigan.
I would like you to note that he just mentioned that the doctor he is
He
allegedly going
works as a
to is an
doctor, Ars.
OBGYN, which is a
Yes.
female vagina doctor.
Yeah, it's a gynecologist.
So what's funny is the prosecutor actually sat down and did all his research for this. And he is about to
Yeah,
ruin
clearly.
this man's career.
Yeah, no. Look, everybody, Sabertall, I know you're in here. Get out your notebook. I have a feeling we're about to get a fucking lesson in cross-examination.
Because you know something's up when he sits up to the podium and he says, so your doctor is an
So what do you
obgyn.
work?
What does that mean?
So yeah, that
exactly?
also just without out explicitly stating it, he's exposed that there's some kind of conflict of interest with this doctor's office.
Yeah.
It means business manager.
Okay.
Accounts payable, receivable, payable.
Wait a minute, wait, listen. I don't have to keep telling you to keep your voice up.
I'm sorry, yes, work on business management, any and all aspects of business management.
For special care OBGYN.
Correct.
And it's located in Riverview. Do they have other locations?
No, sir.
Are you an owner of that facility?
No, sir.
And
You see the judge's way he looks when the guy says, "Are you an owner of that facility?" And he's like, "That's a question, isn't it?"
That is one. Oh man. Oh man.
He's like, "I know you
Oh,
wouldn't ask
God.
that question if it was like just out of the blue randomly.
Yeah.
Like you have something
yeah, no,
you're going
yeah, no,
through."
he's oh man, oh man, oh man. Listen, if I were look, and you know what's so crazy? That lawyer's not paying it. Defense counsel is not paying attention to these questions.
Oh yeah, he's done.
I would pick up on this and be like, can I get a 5-minute recess, or you know what? We're just gonna give up. Can we?
Can I just say I quit?
Yeah, right now. Wait. Objection, Your Honor. I have the clip, everybody, here. Just for you guys.
Devastating to my case.
It's devastating. Wait, okay, Thoranjet, ready? Overruled. Good call.
mentioned a Dr.
Oh, man.
Kaza.
Yes, sir.
Is that your treating physician?
One of my treating physicians, correct?
Okay, and is that a woman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what type of doctor are they?
Family, internal medicine.
And
Internal medicine, family medicine.
where's their office?
In Riverview,
We're in Riverview.
on Pennsylvania Road.
Do they work at special care OBGYN?
They do not.
What about Dr. Gansky?
Dr. Gansky?
Jansky.
Jansky? The Jansky?
Janeski.
Janesky. Thank you.
Yes. Who works in Riverview, not a special care.
And what type of doctor is Dr. Janesky?
Internal medicine,
Does he work, does she, it's a female as well, correct?
correct.
Does she work with Dr. Kaza?
Correct.
They're at the same office.
Oh,
Correct.
Do you see both doctors?
look at how
Sometimes.
animated the judge is right now.
The judge has
The judge
put
is
two things
checking,
together.
Fucking looking, yeah. We're watching him put this together in real time without the look. What's so masterful on prosecution side is these simple questions are set up in a way that he doesn't have to accuse this dude of anything. It all just comes out in the questions. It
Yeah.
all comes out and gets put together right in front of the judge's face. And this is a masterful cross-examination.
Whatever was available.
And then there's a Dr. Adamati.
Correct.
Hey, where's Dr. Adamati?
Works at special care.
Okay, that's the facility where you're the business manager?
Yes, sir.
This is great.
So he says, so they work with a Dr. Adamayu. Yes, they do. Who owns this facility? Yes, she does. That you're the business manager of. Oh!
Yes. Seems like a good that's it. I don't know. I've seen a lot of prosecutors who would just keep the pants out of most defense lawyers. Sadly, I would say that, like you're rare to find a good defense lawyer per, every 3 good prosecutors.
Yeah.
Are you related in any way to any of those doctors?
With Dr. Tamari, yeah, she's my wife.
There it is.
If you
my
didn't hear
wife.
what he said, because he is kind of mumbling a little bit, he says, Dr. Adamati?
my wife.
Yeah, she's my wife.
She's my wife. Guys, we went full fucking Borat. She's my... Oh my god. She's your wife? Excuse me? I cannot get any higher pitch than that. Like, oh my god.
Of course I know her. She's my wife.
Let's run it back one more time. Let's run, like, just one more time. Let's hear. 347, so there, 10
There's a
seconds.
Dr. Adamati.
Correct.
Hey, where's Dr. Adamati?
Works at special care.
Okay, that's the facility where you're the business manager?
Yes, sir.
Are you related in any way to any of those doctors?
Well, Dr. Mizutamari, yeah, she's my wife.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Are you related in any
This
way to
is-
those
oh,
people?
Dude,
Yeah,
dude,
she's my
dude,
wife.
this is crazy. this is actually crazy.
It's not even like a distant
Oh, welcome
cousin
to
or some
House
shit.
Crew.
It's, oh, she's my wife.
No, it's my I'm like that's the thing. It would have been one thing if it was like, yeah, I'm related to them. Okay, whatever. No, you're married to this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you know, it's a far distant cousin, like third removed on my uncle's side. It's like, no, it's my wife.
It's literally my wife.
Oh yes, and defense
yes,
lawyer in the
G-Man,
back
this
is
is real.
talking to who I believe is his wife.
Hey, he after that question, he leaned back and he went, "You gotta run right now. Just make a fucking break for it." The bailiff won't be able to catch you. Trust me. I spiked his donut.
Is there any other doctors in the same
man.
office with her, sir?
With,
Dr. Edamati, your wife?
yeah, we have other doctors as well, too, yes. We have Dr. Luxick, we have Dr. Murphy, there's no other physicians there, there was mid-level providers.
Okay.
I like how he's dropped all pretense and
Wow.
he doesn't realize how bad this is for him. And he's like, yeah, we have all kinds of other doctors in my office.
Look, prosecution. Look. People don't look. Prosecution got to stop asking questions without resting, and then the judge started asking questions. That's not good. That is not good. But it only happened because this guy fucking knocked that cross out of the park so well. That was like 5 questions and you're done.
Thank you, Internet Zed, for the super. So, Ava, what you're saying is the reason prosecutors can convict a ham sandwich isn't because they're so good, it's just defense lawyers are that bad.
Well, it's not what can prosecute a ham sandwich, it's grand jury indictment. You can get an indictment on a sandwich because that's how low the bar and burden of proof is.
Yeah.
But that does so, like, for instance, federal criminal cases. The Department of Justice, up until recently, because Pam Bondi was being fucking retarded, and Todd Blanche is much better. But up until recently, the Department of Justice has had a 95+ success rate in their convictions when bringing federal charges against a criminal. Think about that.
Yeah.
Just statistically, that means that all those defense lawyers that are there are not as good as the prosecution, who maintains a 95+ percentile rate in terms of their wins. That's how you know there's a clear difference between, you know, a good prosecutor and a good lawyer. They're a good defense attorney. There's not as many good defense attorneys, sadly.
Yeah.
So Dr. Luxick and Dr. Murphy. Okay. That's her.
And you testified you take a medicine called
Metformin.
metformin.
Yes.
Thank you. Who prescribed that?
Dr. Tanani,
So your wife prescribed you that script?
that is correct.
Who prescribed you your
Is that even
medicine? My
illegal?
wife.
I wonder if that's even legal. I imagine it probably is. I kind of feel like it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That kind of seems like, you know, a big issue. Oh, yeah, I'm going to ask my wife to prescribe me a bunch of freaking Vicodin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This just does not seem...
It seems like a
There's
loophole
a blatant conflict
that
of
shouldn't
interest
happen.
here. Yeah.
Because it's one of those things like, the most dumbass person can immediately see all the ways this can be abused. Like, without even having to think too hard about
I'm
it.
thinking of like 4 different medications that she could sign over here that's so not good. Great success! Oh
Great
my
success.
God.
And you know
Oh
the
my
date
God,
of when
okay,
your
wow,
wife
yeah.
first wrote you that script?
I do.
What is that date?
I have it on my Alex history from Meyer Pharmacy. I can look it up for you. right around 2020, 2020, right around that time.
Is your wife your primary doctor?
Well, I live with the doctor, so yes, she's my absolute primary. She oversees me.
But she's an OB-GYN, right?
Well, she's a OBGYN, she's a surgeon, and she's a fully board licensed medical physician as well. She's just a subspecialist as an obstetrician and gynecologist.
So what's funny is he is now testifying to his own expert and to why they're an expert, who also happens to be his wife.
His wife is an OBGYN and surgeon?
Yeah.
Look, look, if those credentials are true, that's damn impressive.
If you told me this was a Borat skit, I'd believe you.
Yeah, no, for real.
That's why I liked this case, because about halfway through it just immediately devolves into a skit as soon as this guy's on the stand. And it doesn't get better. I got here late. What's the case about? Guy had a DUI. He lied about having diabetes. Now he's trying to claim that he shouldn't have gotten a DUI because he had diabetes. And he is in court with his doctors testifying to his diabetes, except they all happen to be his family members.
Yeah, not only that, but the cop had specifically asked if he was diabetic or not, and he responded no.
Yeah.
So what's happening here is this is a motion to basically get the case retried on reason of ineffective use of counsel. The defense person here has fired their old lawyer, hired this new one who's been pushing this. They actually had diabetes. The issue is, and the judges mentioned this, if they find that yes, ineffective use of counsel is present here, and we have to retrial it, they also have to throw out key evidence that they could not otherwise get a conviction of. So this guy's literally trying to get a wiggle out of this with his fucking wife doctor.
Yep.
Giving him a pre-diabetic diagnosis, by the way, not even full diabetes.
She's fully qualified to treat anyone for that matter, and trust me, she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's question is though, is that your primary care physician?
Well, yeah. That too, but I do have my own primary care as well too. She's not the James, but Dr. Kazan.
Okay. Does Dr. Jensky write you any scripts?
Yeah, sometimes yes.
And what scripts does Dr. Jensky write you?
She manages also my weight control, mostly weight control.
Weight control?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, because of the diabetes and hypertension. Yes. And then if I have any cold or whatever, flu.
Cold.
So yeah, if Dr. Kazan is available, I will see her. If neither available, I have my Dr. Tamari will help.
Okay. And there was a doctor that testified earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher her name. What is her name again?
Dr. Kuchini.
And do you see that doctor ever?
Oh yeah, a handful of times I've seen her as a doctor.
So now we're asking questions about the doctor we actually saw testify a minute ago, who is kind of hidden behind the prosecutor right now, is where she is.
Since you're just collaborating, mostly I see Dr. Kazan and Dr. Janeski and constantly Dr. Tamani. But it's plenty of doctors to see, I guess.
How many times have you seen, I know, Dr. Katipsha Hidi? When did you first see Dr. Kashif Hidi?
He's going to say the name differently like every time, which I don't fault him for.
I mean, of course, yeah, no, neither would I.
Like, his name is like,
but
what
I would
this?
maybe, for ease of the court's fucking brain, can we just call you Dr. K?
Yeah, Dr. K.
I guess.
What did you go to her for as opposed, let me just ask that. Why did you go to her instead of Dr. Jansky or Janeski and Dr. Kazan?
Yeah, it was during COVID time. That was just, not everybody was available.
Okay, so you went to her in the first time in 2020 or 19?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Along those lines, Dr. Batul.
Okay. So, Farrell Gaming did some research, and it says that in general, physicians should not treat themselves or members of their own families. However, it may be acceptable to do so in limited circumstances. And this is directly from the AMA's Code of Medical Ethics. So while it might not be a law that he broke, it's definitely an ethical rule
Yeah.
that he has violated here.
He testified that 2019, 2020 is when he
Good
first
looking out,
saw
Frogan.
his doctor. Is that,
Yes.
is that accurate?
That's sorry.
To your recollection, that's accurate.
Honestly, so
And is that doctor related to you in any way?
who her?
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of my stepdaughters.
I'm sorry, what?
Dr. Khatib Shahidi is his stepdaughter. It's so
Oh my
fucking
god.
funny.
Oh my god. They were just trying to smooth it out and be like, okay, there are other people in this practice. There's other doctors that you see. It's not as bad as we thought. No, it is still as bad as we thought. Your doctor, two doctors that you're seeing is your wife and your stepdaughter. What the are you? Wow. I cannot, like, holy shit.
Yeah, chat, that's what they meant when they said it was a family practice.
It was a, oh my, yeah, we're a family practice, all right, as in we're all fucking related. Holy shit!
It's so funny.
Johnson & Johnson, a family company.
Stepdaughter?
Correct.
Okay, so that would
wow.
be Dr. your wife, Adamadi's daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So, because she's a family medicine practitioner, her expertise in family medicine as well too.
See, it's funny, you can kind of tell where the two people are during this.
Yeah.
He thinks that they're asking, like, oh, you're saying because it's my daughter, she's not qualified to be a doctor. No, he's saying because it's your daughter, she shouldn't be treating you.
She's not qualified to treat you specifically.
Yeah, because you're
Ethically.
family.
Yeah, but this is the classic. This is why a lawyer does not represent himself in court. Why? Because we're too fucking close to the situation. It's a classic contra where we cannot take a step back and look at the whole thing, which is why Rekieta fucked up when he tried to represent himself.
Yeah.
Any lawyer who tries to represent themselves in anything more than a fucking arraignment should be fucking slapped silly and reminded that, hey, if you have yourself as a client, you're a fool.
Thank you, Entropy, for the super. He says, can't wait for the cop to say he's the father.
Yeah. No, the lawyer's the father, actually.
Is anybody else in this court related?
Yeah. Where everybody, even the police officer raises his head. And the judge is just like, the judge just takes a step back like, what the fuck?
It's so funny.
Oh
So
my
she
god.
sometimes just becomes as a collaborating physician when my primary is not unavailable, or if that one would have questions.
Also, yes, this is all coming out because of a DUI appeal.
Bro, I just realized, look at where the fucking defense attorney's at.
What is he doing?
Dude, why are you literally at, like, the escape route fucking seat? You're all the way into what is happening. You need to be up there, ready to what I don't. Oh, is that the attorney? Maybe that's not the same guy, but it looks like him.
Here, we're at
Do you see him all the way in the back
4121.
there?
So, let me do this really quick. Just keep in mind we were at 4121.
Because I don't think I even see him. Oh no, he. Oh,
Yeah.
he did. He did. Oh my god, he did.
Oh, there's two guys. There
he
it is.
moved. Oh no, it's two guys. Okay.
That's they
Okay,
do
two.
almost look identical, like suits and
Dude,
everything.
they do that. Holy shit, we found a glitch in the Matrix, Ted.
He brought his substitute in. That's the twist. They're
Holy
twin
shit,
brothers.
someone cast Simulacrum in D&D.
They're twin brothers, and they're the stepdaughter's
They gotta
husband.
be. And they're both. They have to be, dude. If they don't have a law firm together, they absolutely should. That's all I'm saying.
Physician when my primary is not unavailable, or if that one would have questions, or
Oh, man.
wouldn't be 100% necessarily able to answer. So, for your understanding, many times physicians that do collaborate on cases. And in this case, I'm just one of the fortunate ones who has more than multiple physicians who can actually help me.
Can you wait 1 second?
Yes, sir.
I wonder what's going on
Oh.
here.
Who just called the bailiff over?
So in 2019,
Oh, he's stepping through a secret door.
approximately, your stepdaughter was collaborating with Dr.
What in the
Cosmo.
fuck?
Right. We were,
Is that right or not?
of course.
That's the just, you said yes, and let him ask the next question.
Yes, sir. We did all the COVID testing together for all the cities.
I don't need to hear things.
I did them. I'm
Just, you're just supposed to answer the question,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Chat says jails of our lives.
Dude,
Uh,
it's also possible that that might not have been related to this case.
yeah, it's just funny that he pops in.
Because everything, no, like as everything's come out, he has his arms crossed. He motions over his bailiff and sends them away. Like if that was Homelander, I'd be terrified.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Mr. Maloney.
I have nothing further to add. Thank
Did you
you.
tell the police that you were not diabetic?
I did not know the difference between diabetics, so yes, I did.
Well, diabetic, if you were told pre-diabetic, you would know that you were either diabetic or just short of diabetic, right?
No, I did not.
You did not?
I just learned all the differences. I really had no idea. All I know is my weight was out of control completely. I was sick all the time.
I feel like if I was told I was
Look,
pre-diabetic
the issue,
and a cop stopped me
Yeah.
and said, "Are you diabetic?" I like at
You know what my
worst I
answer
would have
is?
said,
no, but I'm pre-diabetic.
"Yeah, no, but I'm pre-diabetic."
That's my answer.
Because
Yeah,
you
no,
know
but
you're
any reasonable person would have that response.
because you're like, "Oh, diabetic. That's a thing that I'm partially am."
Yeah. This is crazy. No, I only just learned the difference. Shaye, it's in the fucking name.
He's an idiot.
Under the sea. Oh shit, I have General Grand Regent Thrag just came into my chat. Welcome.
I was,
That metformin is a weight loss drug, isn't it?
it controls
Is it a weight loss drug in part 2 or not?
it does.
How much did you weigh?
It has
How much did you?
your blood sugars.
Would you please just answer my question?
Yes.
Is it a weight loss drug?
Yes.
And you've been taking that weight loss drug for about 6 years, correct?
Yes.
How much did you weigh in 2020? So let's call it January of 2020.
So right about
I just want to know.
Right.
I don't want to hear all this ad-libbing. Just answer my question. If you don't know, listen. Listen. If you don't know the answer, you can say, Judge, I don't know the answer. I'm just asking you a question. In July of 2020, how much did you weigh?
Right about that time, I would say right around 170-ish. And that was the time when
I didn't hear.
um,
Just answer my question,
Christ.
sir.
He's so
Yeah,
bad at this.
Yeah, it really is.
I
It
think it's
really
starting to
is.
set in for him that all the stuff he said did not help his case, and now he's like, "Oh
yeah,
shit,
nothing he said has helped him.
I've got to like start making excuses like quick." And the judge is like, "No, I don't want to hear excuses. I have a question. Answer
Yeah,
my
I don't want to hear
question."
ad-libbing. I don't want to hear the background of what you weighed. Yeah, because at the time, my sister's brother's uncle, shut the fuck up and tell me what you weighed. There's a number there. That's all I should hear out of your mouth.
Exactly. So we'll see where this goes for him.
listen,
Is your testimony that in July of 20 you raised you weighed about 170 something?
maybe a little more, but yes. So
Well, how much do you, is it 180, 185? If you know, if you don't know,
I don't exactly know, but there was a time my weight was just skyrocketing, so it was a changing time.
how much weight have you lost since you started taking metformin in 2020?
So at that time, my weight was not really losing.
Sure. I don't. If you want to think to yourself before you tell me the answer, that's fine. I'm just asking you, how much weight have you lost since 2020? This is 2026 right now, right?
Right now, 160 pounds, but between this, I went up to 200 pounds.
Okay.
At some point, when I was just taking my metformin, I really went up so much, and it was a beginning of 2040.
Then this
got the
guy
240?
walks in.
No, almost to 200, like 196-ish.
And what year was that you got up to almost 200?
23, 24. When
How long did you stop taking the metformin before you got up to almost 200?
I was actually still taking it on the spot, and I still went up. So I have to change a lot of diet. Because metformin is not necessarily just for weight loss. Metformin is to regulate the blood sugar levels. Okay?
You started taking it in 2000.
This is the officer, by the way, that left the room. And now he's talking to defense attorney. I am
Oh, no.
I'm curious what the
That-
judge told him.
Now this has to be related, right? Or maybe maybe another witness has arrived.
Perhaps.
Maybe the other attorney or something.
Right?
That's
So I
really
really
weird,
got a lot
though.
of relief after Genesky started prescribing additional medication, which really cuts the weight down and it's
Sure.
tremendously.
Oh, let you know real quick. I'm putting you on speaker. I have to put together a couple hot dogs for Papa Elfire, but I am listening.
Kinky.
Okay, then.
I think these questions call for yes or no. Okay? Mr. Kolobus will have every opportunity to ask you questions then. And then Mr. Bologna can. I just want to get a few things straight in my head. You started taking metformin in 2020. And when you started taking it, you're telling me, correct me if
I'm genuinely curious what the bailiff is doing. He's talked to defense attorney. Defense attorney talked to guy's witnesses. And now bailiff is talking to one of the witnesses that got up and was leaving. I'm so curious what is happening in the background of this story. And thank you, Internet Zen. I just have just so I have this right. When I tell my med school sister later, this guy partially owns the care facility. His wife is the one saying he's diabetic, and the one doing blood work is his stepdaughter. Yes. He partially owns the care facility. His wife is the primary doctor of the facility, who is also primarily an ob-gyn, which is a vagina doctor. And his stepdaughter is a family medicine physician who is doing his blood work. So it's pretty rough. As Ava said, like with the requirements, you're really not supposed to work on family. It's a big no-no.
Mom, you weighed almost 180.
Oh, close to it, yes.
You speak in the microphone.
Close to it, I would say.
And then at some point, 2024, you got up to almost 200.
Yes.
True or false?
No, it was horrible.
Okay, I'm just asking. Is that true or false?
True.
And then now, how much do you weigh?
Right now, 162 pounds on that bar.
All right, so in the last year and a half.
Also, yes, it's likely there is going to be some other investigation after this, because as soon as he said, oh, my wife is prescribing me medication, you've opened up questions. Even if it might not necessarily by itself be directly illegal, which I'm not sure if it is in this state or not. I don't know much about medicine other than HIPAA. It is definitely going to open up questions because you have family members prescribing you medication. Are you saying that to be funny because it's pronounced letter by letter? I actually hear people say it ob-gyn all the time. I know some people say OBGYN, but I know a lot of people also just shorten it to ob-gyn.
Or so, you've lost 38 pounds, right?
Yes.
We're close to it?
So much. She's coming out right now.
Can you explain why you didn't tell Officer Fields that, no, I'm not diabetic, but I'm pre-diabetic?
Well, I said, repeatedly, I'm fasting. I'm on a 21-hour fast.
I didn't ask you that. Can you tell him why you did not, tell me why you didn't tell him you were pre-diabetic?
I do not know what's there to the diabetic. Well, really, I'm a pre-diabetic. So
You didn't say that, or you did say that?
I don't recall saying or not saying it, but That's the difference. But I did say I'm fasting and I'm on metformin.
Well, that wouldn't mean that a lot of people you would.
Your Honor, I've never been in this situation. I understand.
Yes, you have. You had another drunk driving 4 years ago.
One time. You guys are handling this kind of cases hundreds and hundreds.
Mr. Pastor.
This is very new.
Mr. Pastor.
Time I actually had this problem.
No, it's the second time.
Well, that time that was
I love this part because the guy's like, "You don't understand, Your Honor. Like, I've never been involved in something like this before. Like, it's crazy. It's just never happened." And the judge is like, "Yes, you have. You had one a couple years ago." Your arrest records, specifically for like judges and stuff, are all up when they're doing a case for you like this. It'll tell them if you've done it before. Don't lie about it, bro. Oh, I don't know why you thought you were gonna get away with that.
You had one 5 years ago. Right?
there was only one time.
Did you talk into the microphone? Did you or did you not have one?
Only one time happened in my whole life. I never had this kind of problems. I never been as called a diabetic or a pre-diabetic. I know the difference now. I would have just put diabetic, yes, because the effects are the same, but I can still reverse it. I just lost 38 pounds. So I feel like I still can reverse it. That's the most important thing here.
I know, but let's just clarify because I don't want this record to reveal something different than what really happened. You acknowledge this was your second drunk driving, true?
I had one prior to it.
Object, Your Honor, is to relevance of having a prior drunk.
He just said to me this is the first time he went through it. Sir, sir. You had one 5 years ago, roughly thereabouts, right? So this was not the first time you'd been through this situation, correct?
First time ever anybody asked me about your pre-diabetic or diabetic and this type of form. Yeah.
And when you were asked that on this occasion, you unequivocally told the officer no, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking of a diabetic.
And you didn't manage to tell him that you were pre-diabetic.
If I knew that, I would have said.
When did you find out that diabetic versus pre-diabetic or any listen, let me finish the question. When did you find out?
Never interrupt the judge. I don't know why everybody thinks they can talk over a judge and get the judge to agree with them. You can't. You are not gonna win this fight. Stop it. Oh, Lord.
Into this.
Are you gonna let me finish?
I'm sorry, I thought you were finished. Sorry.
When did you find out that there was a potential impact on the accuracy of an intoxilizer for somebody who's diabetic?
Throughout this case.
So you knew back earlier, like in the beginning, before you pled?
I mentioned that to.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you the question, when did you find out that the accuracy of an intoxilizer could be called into question if you're diabetic? And you said throughout, correct?
When Mr. Colon was advising me, you should not ban because you're a pre-diabetic.
You did not, but you said throughout the case you understood that. True or false?
Then they told me I had a higher ketones level, and I presented that to Mr. Zelenak, and Zelenak did nothing, even mentioning that I had elevated ketones level due to my fasting and my pre-diabetes levels. So I was on a 21-hour fast at that time when this happened.
So when you tendered your guilty plea, did you know or not know that an intoxilizer's accuracy could be called into question?
Yeah.
You were on a 21-hour fast as a pre-diabetic.
Allegedly.
Are you trying to give yourself a diabetic coma? You don't do that. Yeah, I know. I'm pointing out the inconsistency in your statement. You're not pre-diabetic or diabetic and decide to go on a fucking fast. If you do, you're fucking stupid and downright suicidal. Don't do that.
Question, if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic as you're trying to argue.
Also, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Whatsoever. Mr. Zelenak never advised me about this and never advised me properly. Otherwise, I would have never done it.
And you didn't think to tell the officer I'm pre-diabetic. I just want to...
No, I would not think that telling the officer I'm diabetic. He clearly asked that question, are you diabetic? Apparently, people asked me. I was nervous, to be honest, but I'm very going to people that. I tried to answer everything to my best of my ability, and I actually did have a problem with that because it's a diabetic or pre-diabetic, and I didn't want to make a mistake.
Did you hear a minute ago, Ava, when he said, "No, I've never gone through this before," and the judge immediately goes, "You had a DUI a couple years ago." Oh no, Ava's still gone.
All right. Were you nervous when you answered the rest of the questions that he asked you to, or not?
Of course.
But were there any other statements that you made to the officer that you read in the report or saw in the video that you thought, oh, that's inaccurate. I must have done that because I'm nervous?
I think that sobriety test was something when I thought I did everything perfectly right. But then again, I had chronic back pain from the sports that I've done. And he said I didn't do it right. And then following that and check it right.
But that's performance of a test. All I'm asking is the officer asked you several questions during the investigative stop. True?
Yes, yes.
And are there any other answers that you would say in retrospect, I should answer that differently because I was nervous and I gave the wrong answer?
I do not recall it. No, I think the officer.
So the only one you think that caused you to maybe be inaccurate with this is the fact that you were nervous because
I would think so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But none of the other questions.
Well, I was nervous about everything, of course, but
But you didn't answer any of the other ones incorrectly, right?
I'm barely going to recall any of the other questions, to be honest. But when he asked me what medications I clearly stated on that form. So I did not know if he knows what's that for, but.
For weight loss.
To object to the testimony because it's inaccurate representation of the record. If you watch the video, it was never asked the question.
All right.
What was mentioned?
I'm going to hang on, Mr. Pastor. I'm going to stop right here. Do you have any other questions?
Other than just for the record is clear, is that you came in to see me at my office, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That was after you had like.
All right. Now, wait a second. Now you're.
Oh shit.
You came to see me in my office, right?
Okay, I think. Look, you know what the lawyer just did? He's starting to cover for his ass.
Yeah.
He's covering. Yeah. Okay. So you had this idea about the diabetes fucking angle before you came into my office, right? That's what that translated to because he must realize he is in the hot seat on some level, and the only way for him not to be is if this guy was pursuing this fucking strategy, whatever you want to call it, before he met this attorney. If this is your strategy, attorney, well, we're gonna have some questions.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw it a minute ago, but the bailiff came back in, told him something. He turned around and told it to the two ladies behind him, one of which I believe is a family member of his as well, even though she didn't testify and we haven't seen her name.
Oh, no, there's one, okay.
Then she got up and she walked to the left of the pews, or I'm just going to call them pews because it's easier.
Okay.
And then the bailiff came up to her before she got to the end of it, stopped her, and pointed towards the door in the back room. So she then turns around, goes out, and goes to the door in the back room. So whatever the judge told the bailiff is in some way related to these people.
100%. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus, this is so much worse than... You guys are literally... This family of doctors thought that they could pull a fast one over the court.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I'm wondering if he... I feel like his family might have known. I don't know if he knew that he wasn't supposed to just openly say, yeah, they're all my family.
Kind of leading here, right?
Oh, by the way, YouTube forcibly changed my title and description back to Japanese, and now it's refusing to let me change it again.
I don't even know what you did.
And now it's back on limited monetization. YouTube hates me lately. I don't know what's up with it.
YouTube's just having a freaking stroke, apparently.
And it annoys me because it does kneecap my videos because people don't want to watch it because its title is in Japanese.
Yeah, 'cause it's in Japanese.
But then Japanese people don't want to watch it because then I'm speaking in English the whole time. I feel like I'm being fucking trolled.
You came in there's no other way to ask this. After you pled guilty, did you make an appointment and come see me at my office?
Absolutely, yes, I did.
And Did you bring your records, including your medical records?
I brought everything what I had available with me at that time.
And also that you had back injuries in the past, correct?
Correct.
And did I ask you if you're a diabetic or a pre-diabetic? Did I ask you
Is that
that?
all of them? One second.
You asked me.
Sir, Mr. Pastor, wait, is that all the records?
Oh, you know what? This is right there. This is all of them?
Okay, so we're gonna go have 3 copies made. I'm giving the
Oh,
doctor
okay,
back the
okay.
original. Actually, I have 4 copies.
Okay. I'm way more calm.
Fair.
So what happened was the bailiff, the judge reached out to the bailiff to get in touch with the doctor's office so they could facilitate faxing over a copy of these records. That's also why she was stopped and sent into the back room. Okay, that's way better. I was making lunch, so I didn't see all of that, but now with that, with these records coming in, that's exactly what happened. You know, it's a great success.
4 copies made and have them each stapled together.
Okay.
And then one will be marked People's 1 or Defense 1. One, the original will go back to the doctor, and I'll give you a copy, or I'll need a copy. Make 5 copies total. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Judge. And then
I'd like a coffee.
did I bring up diabetes or pre-diabetes when I was looking through your records?
Yes, you did
Diabetes.
right away, sir.
Okay. And did I tell you I also was a pre-diabetic?
Yes, you had mentioned yes, sir.
Did I tell you at that time what any form of diabetes or pre-diabetes does to the accuracy of an it's a breath machine or instrument that measures alcohol?
Yes, you had.
Was that the first time you heard that?
That was the exact first time I actually learned this.
And the reports show 0.09, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 0.1 over the legal limit.
Does it elevate it or bring it down?
He's not.
Blood sugar.
He's not.
Okay, all right, I'll withdraw that, sir. I don't have anything else, Judge.
I might ask you one question. You said you told Mr. Zelnick you were pre-diabetic, correct?
Yes.
If you had no idea that diabetes could affect, or pre-diabetes could possibly affect the accuracy of an intoxilizer, why would you have found it relevant to tell Mr. Zelnick that you were a pre-diabetic?
So, I had a supporting letter from Dr. Kazan stating my ketones level were much elevated due to my fasting routine. That's why I lost all the weight. Keep fasting with the medication, it's a collaboration of all that. However, I mentioned that to him, but we didn't really talk about diabetes. We just actually talked about the effect of it. And I mentioned that to Mr. Zanet a number of times. I was in severe ketosis. The 21-hour ketosis, it's a very high push on ketosis, but that was the only way for me to control my weight and lose all that weight in that short period of wash, a very hard period of time.
Okay.
Yes, I did mention that to him. I had elevated ketosis. I gave him the letter also from Dr. Berman, the psychiatrist, who went to the program, was being advised to go to, and I spoke with her. I clearly stated to her I'm pre-diabetic. As soon as she provided me the documentation, I provided that to Mr. Zelnick right away. That's it. And that was after.
She didn't have any idea that that had anything.
But yeah.
The accuracy.
Ketones, but I had no idea.
It'd be like somebody with gout going to their lawyer and saying, I had a drunk driving and I got gout, right? Am I missing something here? I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm asking.
I'm not trying to argue. I am not trying to argue, but I was keep telling him my ketones level was.
But you didn't know that had anything to do with the accuracy of a breathalyzer at the time, though, correct?
I read about it a little, but I wasn't 100% sure until I talked to.
Oh, there it is. Ah, yeah.
Very brief round.
Yeah.
Sure. You hadn't told Mr. Kolovis you hadn't talked to till after the guilty plea, right?
No, he educated me about this.
But not until after the guilty plea, right?
So funny. It really does devolve into a skit, doesn't it?
I mean, what else is this? What else is this? I mean, really.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you. I'm asking why you told Mr. Zelnick if you didn't have anything to do with if you didn't know it had anything to do with the accuracy.
Yes, this was Mr. Zelnick's job to inform me of it, and he failed to do so.
I see. Okay.
He wasn't in it.
Stop. Let him ask his question.
You testified that Dr. Gaza told you the effects of fasting, correct?
Correct.
And now fasting can create higher ketosis.
Yes,
And you-
your keto level was low.
And you testified you were on a 21-hour fast during this period.
Yes.
At what time did you start your fast?
So I started my fast at 10 p.m. at night till 7 p.m. next day.
Okay, you were pulled over at approximately 11:30 in the evening, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so did you celebrate your bathroom the day with an alcoholic beverage?
That was the first time because this was.
Oh my god. I just realized he could be like Muslim or Hindu, which like that they actually do fast all the time religiously, like if required. And I just thought how huge it would be to be diabetic and forced to fast because of your religion.
Yeah.
You know, just every once in a while, because of your religion, you have to roll the dice and basically play diabetes roulette. Like,
And I'll
oh
tell you why.
God.
This day, actually, I was in further ketosis.
Answer the question, objection, chief.
At that day, I was in a much more prolonged ketosis.
Well, the question was, you decided to break your, what was supposed to be 21-hour fast.
Yes.
With an alcoholic beverage.
I did that.
And that was around what, 10 o'clock?
Something like that.
Okay, so you weren't even in a fast for 12 hours at that point.
No. I was still in a fast since the night before. I haven't had a chance to eat. That day I had to work more. It was a holiday weekend, so I was doing yard work all day long, till late afternoon. And the only reason I even went out because I had to buy the Lawli tickets because that was the big jackpot. So I had to run to do that. That was the only reason. And the only reason I even went to that because the movie was open at that time over there. Because it was late. And yes, I broke my fast at that time way too late.
But with an alcoholic drink, would you have any food?
No.
Just a drink?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, nothing further.
All right, you can step down. Thank you very much. Unless you have something else you want to ask them, Mr. Clovis.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can step down. Doctor, come on up here. We have the records. Come on up here, doctor. Okay. Doctor, I just want to make sure we give these back to you. Are these? Wait a minute. ProPath, are these your records?
Dr. Kaz's records.
Well, where's your records? I wanted you to.
That's what I was given around. That's what they emailed to the girls down.
Okay, these are what was brought to.
Mr. Belongings.
Wait a minute, I just need to understand this. This is Metro Shores, Riverview. Where's your records?
My record, I do not have records.
They went and got records from a different doctor. And then they brought this doctor back up to testify about it.
Look at his face. That's
so
my face right
funny.
now. If I had webcam tracking, that would be my face right now.
It's so fucking funny. He's like, these aren't even your records. Where are your records? I don't have any. What are you talking about?
I'm collaborating with this.
I thought you told me you had records. You didn't tell. You brought records with you, right?
Correct.
Which records are yours? From Special Care Old Me Gin?
No, I brought Dr. Kaz's records for review.
Is that from Metro Shores?
Yes,
Dr. Kaz's record.
yes.
Dr. Kaz isn't. Okay, wait. Let's do this. There's records here that say Metro Shores?
Yes.
Is that Dr. Kaz's?
Yes.
Who are ProPath's records? The records here that say ProPath.
Dr. Atimani?
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure what records you brought. Did you bring the ones from Dr. Kaz that
Oh
say
my
Metro
God.
Shores?
Yes.
All right. Where are the originals of those records? Did you bring them?
I do not have the originals.
Okay, well then, look, here's what I'm going to do.
All copies, Your Honor.
I know. So, all right, we're going to have this marked defense one. And all you guys are going to be given records here. Copies of those. So on admitting defense one, that's the records. If there's something you want me to take out, I will. Mr. Bologna, here's your copy.
He's giving one, thank you.
So you're just
He's got it.
you're just repeating what Dr. Kaz has said, right?
I have been in collaboration with Dr. Kaza in regards to diabetes.
Well, don't you keep records? You mean to tell me if Mr. Pastor came to your office?
He did not come to my office. He went to Dr. Kaza and Dr. Janeski's office.
Am I wrong? I thought you said you were in Newport and he came to your office 5 years ago, 2020, 21.
No, sir. I said I am in collaboration with Dr. Kaza.
Well, you did say.
Are you? Wow. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's so good.
I really don't.
collaborating.
I mean,
And I asked you when he first came and saw you. Did I not ask that?
Yes,
And what did you answer?
2019 in regards to diabetes.
Well, where are your records? You don't have medical records?
I was in collaboration with Dr. Kaza.
So he comes to your office.
Not my office. I was with Dr. Kaza in collaboration with her to review.
Where are the records that...
first of all, if you're collaborating with a doctor, you keep your own records. That's just how this is. This sounds to me like you guys have been. Look. The best lies are told with half truths, right? So I imagine that he is pre-diabetic on some level, but nowhere near like okay, they're looking at his sugar levels and stuff, but it's not like, oh God, you need to make changes or you're diabetic. You know, it's not fucking that level. Even his fucking weight loss shit, like 200 to 160 or whatever the fuck. First of all, that's not even morbidly obese if you're like, what is it, 6 feet tall or whatever the fuck. So I think what happened is, yes, he was technically pre-diabetic. He has no actual diagnoses because he's not actually diabetic. And then this DUI happened and his family scrambled to try and fucking get him out of this by fucking pushing this lack of diagnosis as, oh yeah, he's definitely diabetic.
Yeah.
That's all that happened here.
Where are the records that you wrote in 2019?
I do not have records that I have written in 2019.
How about at any other time? He just testified he saw you 3 times.
Correct, as a collaborating physician to aid with his diabetes and pre-diabetes.
So you meant, I want to make sure that I understand
collaborating
this.
physician.
You are a physician, right? And he at some point came to you, right?
Yes,
In Dr. Kaz's office.
with Dr. Kaza.
And you didn't take any records? You didn't keep any records?
No, sir.
You didn't take a history from Mr.
We
Pastor?
were speaking
That's
together.
crazy.
What?
Because she and Dr. Janeski is his primary care physician.
All right, I want you to look at Defense 1. Where's Defense 1 right now? I want you to look at that, as long as you were relying on Dr. Kaz's records. I want you to look at the bottom of page 1. Diagnosis, encounter for general adult medical examination with abnormal findings.
Yes.
Overweight. Dietary counseling. Gastroesophageal reflux disease, unspecified whether esophagitis present. Fatty liver, primary hypertension. Now, these records were from 2022, correct? This is June 2022, progress notes by Dr. Janeski.
Yes.
I want you to find one place on any of these records from 2022 or any other record where it says diabetic. Can you do that for me? I'm going to sit here and wait.
They have like royally fucked this all.
Yeah, I mean, this is... People are in trouble. Like, so many different industries are in trouble. The lawyers in trouble. These doctors are definitely in trouble.
I think what
I mean-
confuses me is they still went to school, so they still should know the rules around this. And you're telling me they didn't realize that they were gonna have to give the documents to the court when they did this?
No, they do, which is why they didn't give the right documents.
No, that's the thing. I don't think they do, because there's a part, and I think we kind of already went over it, we didn't bring it up, where the lawyer basically tries to argue that they shouldn't have to give the documents to the judge because it's HIPAA protections.
Oh yeah, that was retarded.
Yeah, so unironically, I almost think they did not realize that HIPAA didn't protect you from trying to use it as a defense in court.
I think they did, but they just took a swing and they missed.
Fair.
Which is why also when asked to provide records, she fucking got a different office to send her records. Like, what the fuck?
Chat says they asked
Like,
YouTube's
this
AI.
is all stuff that someone would do.
That they asked
Oh.
YouTube's AI about my Mimi video, and the AI told them it was changed to Japanese because it's about VTubers, and it detected use of Japanese in the metadata.
That's fucking hilarious.
You're forcibly changing my videos.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
Oh, it's so
It's
dumb.
broadcast yourself, not let us decide how to broadcast you.
If I want it in Japanese, I would have written it in Japanese. I can't even read Japanese. I don't even know if you're right.
Yeah, I couldn't even begin to read. I can phonetically say a few words because I'm a fucking weeb, but
Yeah.
On the ProPass lab results, interpretation of his A1C.
What page? What page?
Page is on the ProPath page 1, bottom of the page, 5.7 A1C.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I want to stop you now. Blood work will detect cancer, correct? Certain types.
Certain.
If somebody tested in that range, would a doctor not, and the doctors confirm there's cancer, would the doctor not write that as a diagnosis? Or just rely on somebody reading
what's
test
the
results
diagnosis?
to come up with the conclusion that there's some kind of cancer? You understand my
I do
question?
not understand the question.
Well, look at the diagnosis anywhere on any of these pages and show me where it says, listen to me, I'm going to lose my patience real quick if I have it 40 minutes ago. I want somebody to tell me why I'm in here, and we're talking about diabetes, and I have no piece of paper from any doctor telling me he had diabetes or even pre-diabetes, and he denied it to the police officer. So you're going to find on these records, besides talking about a 5.7 rating, which tells us maybe they're going to be diabetic down the road, and you're going to tell me there's a diagnosis that existed before September 1 of 2025 that showed me that he was diagnosed as a either diabetic or a pre-diabetic.
that's right. Lay down the hammer.
I know from my understanding from the past, I don't have the exact record in front of me. I was there.
You're his stepdaughter, right?
Yes, sir.
You are the stepdaughter because you are the daughter of his wife.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Find in the record where it says diabetes.
You guys have lost. You guys have all lost. Mizu, you are now
told me it
rated
was in there
our favorite
Before you
Japanese
said,
femboy.
told these guys you were going back to Newport.
Specifically
I did not say it
Japanese.
was coming back to me, but I'm sorry.
Well, somebody told me that on your side of the aisle. It wasn't here.
You guys want to do that?
Judge, there's another medical that I gave that I think you have.
The 5 loose ones.
I don't even know.
And it makes
It'd be
This is
so
special
funny if
care.
this fucking escalated to the point where it's like you're aware of the Supreme Court ruling, right? That ruled that legally tomatoes are actually not a vegetable.
Yes.
They're legally a fruit. So it'd be so funny if, like, yeah, no, he has diabetes, and the court gets so upset. It's like, you know what? Legally, he doesn't. I don't care if medically he does. Legally, he no longer gets to be diabetic.
Well, it says increased risk for diabetes, if that's what you're referring to, 5.7 to 6.4, but that's from special care OBG. If there's a diagnosis anywhere that he's diabetic on here, I'd be glad if you point that out to me. Can you do that? Do you have one,
Dr.
Mr.?
Kazan wrote it here in the letter.
Let me see.
But in the sack, Your Honor?
That happened the first, that was not in the.
So Dr. Kaza yesterday writes that Norbert Pastor was diagnosed with prediabetes June 23, 22, right? Even though he didn't have it on his diagnosis sheet.
Yes.
Right? Thank you. That's all I need to know. Anything else? Do that? Do you have
Yeah,
one,
hold
Mr.
on.
Kazan wrote it here.
Watch this. This judge is so upset. What? Oh. Oh my gosh, I got head pets on my Ko-Fi. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is watch him get handed this paper. As he holds it a little bit extended, you can see how upset he is by the shaking of his hands. I'm not even joking. He's so upset he's shaking.
In the letter.
Let me see.
But in the
Watch
sack,
this.
Your Honor?
That happened the first, that was not in the.
Yeah.
So Dr. Kaza yesterday
that. Look
writes
at that
Norbert
shake.
Pastor was diagnosed with prediabetes
He's
June 23,
literally
22,
so
right?
fucking pissed.
Even though he didn't have it on his diagnosis sheet.
Yes.
Right? Thank you. That's all I need to know. Anything else? Any questions? Anybody?
No.
Any questions?
Piece of paper you have that I handed, are we going to have that marked as an exhibit?
You talking about ProPath?
Yeah.
We can have that marked. Do you want to have it marked and received? Sure.
Judge.
This is Dr. Asmani's lab results in which she indicates his pre-diabetes.
Let me see them. Is that on one of the pages that I have here?
You have it up there, John.
Prediabetes.
It's fine. You gotta shut it.
Okay, and that's from June 3rd, 23 of 22, pre-diabetes.
Where are we at?
This is on the ProPath records, I believe she's referring to. And it's on page 1 of 2 after 5 of 5.
I'm sorry, Judge, what page would it be from the top?
6, I believe.
Thank you.
It's just, and it looks like, I mean, I'm not even sure. Is that what that says? He's pointing it up to, 5.7, circle, pre-diabetes. I'm not even sure that's what it says, but
New York,
nonetheless,
thank you very much for the Ko-Fi.
I can't quite make that out. It looks like, honestly, it looks like P6DEBETES.
They're not doctors, right, Judge?
I know they're probably almost as bad as I am. All right, what else? Anything else that you want to tell me? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just going to place on the record objection to this witness trying to get into the ProPath document as it looks, from what we could tell, authored by
I know.
Amati. It was printed on 4/30.
It's certainly not that I understood that she wasn't keeping her own records and she was just testifying about Dr. Janeski's records. That certainly was not the way I took it on direct.
I understand, Your Honor, but for the record.
I understand. I'm going to admit him anyway. Mr. Kolovas, anything else that you want to ask the doctor?
No, I'm trying to listen to everybody's spot.
Who's?
Yes.
You don't have any other questions?
I don't know.
Doctor, you can step down. Mr. Kolovas, do you have any other witnesses?
Yes. What that is.
Just the one.
Is this an actual doctor now?
Yes.
Though that wasn't that Judge, you gotta watch your tongue there.
It's funny though.
Because, well, it's hilarious because I understand completely. But just like you can actually get sued for defamation for implying or stating that a lawyer is not actually a lawyer, you can get the same through a doctor. So is this an actual doctor implying what the step doctor isn't a doctor? Excuse me, Judge. That's completely inappropriate. Now, of course, now that's going to happen. They're in deep shit. But
Last thing they want to do is get more attention on their
be this
case.
upset. Yeah, no, exactly. But I did notice how she turned and looked when he went, an actual doctor. She didn't like that.
Does she have a diagnosis of diabetes?
Yes.
What doctor is she?
You're going to have to step up there now and be sworn in. I'm tough on these things, Judge.
I mean, he didn't even testify. He went to somebody else.
Jesus, does that
Did he?
stepdaughter have
If
diabetes?
this is another collaborating physician that's going to use somebody else's records, I'm going to lose my mind if I have to hear this.
Oh my God, I love you, Judge.
You guys need to like take the L on this judge already.
Like,
before-
yeah, seriously, he's gonna fucking kill you at this point.
Like, how do you guys not realize how fucked you are yet? Like, how have you not figured this out?
Man, this is crazy.
Like, he's even stood up from his podium and he's like, I swear to fucking God, if this is another just random side physician who has nothing to do with this
He's
shit.
gonna grab that flag behind him and launch it as a javelin if you don't fucking give him something he can use.
Can it be the fucking freedom flag from Helldivers?
Yeah, for real.
What is your name?
That's mine.
You're his wife, right?
I was the initial ordering.
You're an OB-GYN, right? You really want me to do this? I will if you want.
She ordered it.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury.
Oh my God, he's actually trying to. You really want me to? I'll do it if you want me to, but fuck.
This is the judge telling you
can't-
that you're
Jesus.
fucked. You should not even go down this route.
Dude, you're so. Yeah, he's so. His skin on his. Look at the difference of skin tone between his face, which is red with anger, and his palm, which is whiter than the driven snow.
When the judge says, do you really want me to do this? I will. You should probably be like, you know what,
God,
judge? I rest my
Jesus.
case.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
just- we'll
sorry
go.
for everything, honestly.
That the testimony you give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, help you God. Have a seat, please.
Your Honor, can I put the general government on the record?
Yeah,
Just want to note the record because this is such an interesting record at this point.
it's more than interesting.
That this is a spouse who's going to now testify.
I like how he says, open record, this is interesting. The judge says, it's more than interesting. And I understand what the prosecutor is doing. He is making a record, which is important because technically we have not directly
Yes.
addressed this person on record yet. So he does need to make a record that this is the accused wife.
Yeah, he's being smart. It's just, it's still so wild.
But the judge is like so keenly aware of who this woman is now that he's just like, yeah, no, I fucking get it. Oh, I love it. That's why I picked this one. Like, it starts off a little slow, and it's like, okay, this
a very
is just
good one.
this is some dumbass trying to get out of a DUI. And then the prosecutor gets up and it's like, so your doctor is your stepdaughter, and your other doctor is your wife, and you own the doctor's office where it happened.
Yeah, that's just where everything just, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Nani, the heck?
And so this could be a waiver of the spousal privilege. So I'd like to make that objection on the record and have it noted that this could be considered a waiver of that privilege. So if we proceed.
Actually, yes, that actually is it's a possibility. Because there's a thing right in court called like spousal privilege.
It's a possibility, but the issue then is that public spousal privilege as regards to testifying against one another. She's testifying for him. And that might be my argument there.
So,
like, yeah, you know what? You're right, but we are not compelling anyone here to testify.
What I've learned, like, from going down a history with it, right, is spousal privilege means that they cannot compel you to testify against your spouse. However, if you choose to testify in defense of your spouse, you do have to testify against them under cross. So basically what it is you...
Oh, there's the argument. Okay, excuse me, that would have been a bad call on my part.
Yeah. So, like,
To try
now
and
that
argue
she's
that.
testifying...
No, you're absolutely right.
Because you wouldn't be able to cross them at all. They would just get up and be able to mindlessly support their spouse. The way I understand it, and obviously not a lawyer chat, is that they can't compel you to testify against them in the same way what your right is to just not testify at all, pretty much. Because as soon as you testify, they can cross you, and if you lie under cross, even if it's in defense of your spouse, that is perjury.
But yeah.
Isn't that the defense attorney? So the one at the podium is the defense attorney. The dapper-looking guy that is behind Ava's head here is the prosecutor, who's trying to get him on his DUI charges.
Yeah, he's doing a good... I love how the cop still hasn't said a goddamn thing.
Yeah, he brought in this police officer, who they clarified doesn't even work at this precinct anymore in the last video.
Yeah, he's just kind of watching this now.
So he's just like, this is a wild trip. This is not how I expected to spend my testimony.
Okay.
Any response?
That's fine. If it'll be treated as a waiver, I mean, there's nothing.
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
And we have a spouse that's going to be truthful, I think. Ma'am, are you a doctor?
Yes,
Are you a DO or MD?
you,
And what is your specific area that you practice?
OB/GYN,
Okay. And how long have you been a doctor?
since 1995.
And do you ever check people's patients' blood pressure?
Yes,
Do you ever check their glucose, their sugar level?
yes,
And you check their lungs and all those things,
Yes.
right? Okay. And are you aware of your husband suffering any prediabetes or diabetes?
yes,
Okay, you'll have to speak up.
yes.
Okay. And when did you ever diagnose him as that?
This was going on since we received the COVID vaccine. And after that, because he stopped smoking, he gained weight. And at the same time, we were doing labs. I offered labs. And for me, I offered labs for him. And his hemoglobin A1C was elevated.
I'm sorry, what's the last part I couldn't understand?
She was elevated.
A1C was elevated.
And was it in the area of the results of pre-diabetes or diabetes?
Because I treat gestational diabetes, we consider that diabetes.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Because our job, we treat gestational diabetes. For us, we do not call mildly elevated hemoglobin A1C or elevated A1C pre-diabetic or diabetic. We call all diabetic.
Okay, so to you or your understanding in the medical field, diabetes
I had to clarify because somebody in chat asked it again and I didn't notice it. The defense attorney is reminding her of spousal privilege. No, the prosecutor is, because the prosecutor needs to have on record that in the future, if they need to cross her, that she is not entitled to spousal privilege. A lot of times in courts, you
Yep,
don't.
pretty much.
Sometimes in court, you want to remind your enemy when they're making a mistake, because if
Oh, Sebertod just said something.
Yeah.
Do we know who holds privilege in that state? Because sometimes it is the witness spouse's privilege, not the party spouse. You're right, but I don't know what state we're in.
same, fair.
is a pre-diabetes.
But what I was going to say is sometimes it's important to remind your opponent when they're making a mistake in court, because of the exact reason we're actually in here today, ineffective use of counsel. If you just let the opponent's counsel be wildly incompetent the entire time, then the actual perpetrator has a chance on
Then
appeal
they might
to
be able
use
to
that.
get it on appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes in cases like this, you have to remind your opponent when they're making a mistake, or else it's going to be an appealable motion later.
Diabetes is the same.
Yes,
So you have that's been telling me pre-diabetes I
it
have.
does not exist.
He's wrong. All right, I'm going to tell him. All right.
Did you ever tell your husband that?
Yes.
When did you tell him that?
When the sugars were up, hemoglobin A1C.
I know, but when? What year?
About the same time that the probe had last year done.
What year would
Was
that?
that 22?
Yes,
What year would that be?
2022.
Okay. And do you know if he was advised that along with diabetes, you should lose weight, you should exercise, and not eat as much sugar?
Yes, it's indicated in the labs.
And I'm on Ozempic, but obviously it's not for weight loss.
You know this is like a little bit of a testifying with him. And it's weird that he keeps doing this.
Yeah. I don't like it.
People use these pills to lose weight. Is that correct?
It helps with weight loss, but like formula glucophage.
Does it also help the glucose and maintain it or bring it down?
Yes.
So it has two benefits.
Yeah.
It's like these shots of Ozempic people take that don't have diabetes and lose weight, right? These are different effects it has. Okay. So it's not marketed as strictly a weight loss drug.
No.
And has there been any break in time from the time at first you discussed 2020, 21
Yes.
of diabetes or pre-diabetes? Has there been any break where your husband, the defendant, was free of diabetes, was not taking medication, and he was perfect? Was there ever any time?
We did not repeat labs to prove one way or the other. So once you're diabetic, we consider diabetic. We don't go back and do labs, for example, and say, okay, you're not diabetic then.
You still have blood tests
Yes,
to be
you
done.
do
We have
actually.
blood test and hemoglobin A1C can go
That's
up or
kind of
down.
crazy.
What is?
And I only know this because there's somebody who lives here on the property who's taking Ozempic, who is diabetic, and they were just told by their doctor, your levels have been so sustained and so low and in the green for so long, we can take you off of your diabetic medication and you're considered post-diabetic. Maybe it's brand new. I don't know. But all I know is this. Yes, you can. I mean, I guess not with type 1, or is it type 2? I know there's one that you can't just get back. It's basically hereditary and you're fucked. But there's another that, like, yes, you can get through bad diet eating and choice of stuff, but you can also, go into a quote-unquote remission. I guess it wouldn't be full remission, but it's like, yeah, you're able to regulate your own sugar levels because you fucking eat right.
Yeah. Type 1 is hereditary and can't be cured, is what chat says.
That's the one I was thinking. Type 1 is you're done. Type 2 is dietary. And which means that, yes, type 2, if it's removed and you remove the dietary things that are causing it, you technically don't have,
Diabetes.
diabetes anymore. Now, if you fucking fall back down, yeah, you'll go back onto onset and then into full if you're not careful. But, it's a state of body. It's not hereditary.
Okay, but you're a diabetic,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Once one, always one.
Yes.
Okay, just you try to maintain it, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, I don't mean to do it.
Yeah,
Any
once
questions,
one,
Mr.
always
Bowman?
one,
Yes,
yes.
thank you, Your Honor. At the time of the arrest, your husband wasn't pregnant, was he?
No,
Okay, you mentioned gestational diabetes. Isn't that only applied?
because I treat diabetics.
Right, but gestational diabetes applies to pregnant women, is that correct? So that would not apply to men, is that correct?
I was only implying that I do treat diabetes.
Yes.
Whether pregnant or not, if somebody wants help with diabetes, if they don't have access to primary care, I do help.
Correct, but you mentioned that gestational
Oh, that's not
diabetes.
even something I thought about either. Good job, prosecution. There is such a thing as gestational diabetes. It's where you basically have diabetes for the duration of the time that you're pregnant.
I
Usually
have
clears
not heard
up
of that
after you
before,
give
actually.
birth. Yes, it's very common actually. Apparently my mom got it really bad, and that's actually why she passed this, because it turned into type 2, and she just didn't control it at all, and that's how she went. But yeah, no, there is such a thing as gestational diabetes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gestational diabetes, you treat it as diabetic or not?
For the definition of diabetes.
Correct. So your definition of diabetes is based on gestational
No,
diabetes?
no. But I do deal with diabetes a lot.
Right, but then there is a category pre-diabetic, correct?
I am not sure. I hear that. That's an argument.
What do you mean you're not sure? You're
They
a
do call sometimes
doctor.
pre-diabetic versus diabetic. So
Okay, but you don't know for certain.
for certain,
You said you're not sure, so that would imply
well,
that
I
you
don't
know
know
for
what
certain.
you mean. For a lot of doctors, pre-diabetic is the same as diabetic.
And you also stated that you agree with the
God, I hate
statement
this
that
for a
once a
lot of
diabetic, always a
doctors, shit.
diabetic. That's not true though, is it?
You do have the inclination to become diabetic.
Correct, but there's certain types of diabetes that with health and diet, you eventually will be considered not diabetic, correct?
I don't think so.
You sure about that?
Yes. I don't do that. I don't say you're diabetic.
You're a
we got the you sure
doctor.
about that meme. Holy shit. You sure about that?
I think. Honey, you're the doctor. You're
Yeah,
the one
this
that's
is,
supposed to know this. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh,
Do
it's
you know for
crazy.
certain that you could eventually be classified as diabetic and then based on diet and health?
I believe physicians, when they call a person diabetic, it's all of diabetic.
But you're not an expert at it.
Oh shit, hold on real quick.
Uh-huh.
Feral Gaming being an awesome person. Judge Michael Key McNally was elected to the 33rd District Court bench in 1994 and assumed his duties in January of 1995. He was re-elected in 2000, 2006, 2012, 2018, and 2014. He is the longest-serving judge in the history of the court, which began its operation in 1969. Judge McNally was appointed by the Michigan Supreme Court to serve as chief judge of the court from 1998 to 2001. So he is a Michigan judge, and a very, very, very well-decorated one.
An expert at these things.
Maybe not this.
And do you prescribe any other medications besides Metropin?
I do write for insulin.
What about with your husband? Do you prescribe anything else?
No.
Just that's the only pill you write
Yes.
for him?
Yes.
Okay, and you said that you do prescribe insulin,
For my patients, yes.
but not for your husband.
No.
You decided to do Metropin versus insulin?
Well, then he's not
I mean, they're
diabetic.
different. They're oral hypoglycemics. That's metformin. And then we have the injectable ones. If the type 2 diabetes doesn't improve, they become type 1 diabetic. And you can get insulin as well as, or you can be on both at the same time.
No.
All right. Anything else? Sure. Thanks.
I thought they do a genetic test to determine type 1
But you
diabetes.
stated earlier that once a diabetic, always a diabetic, is that correct?
To my knowledge, yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And you can try to maintain the diabetes of an individual by taking medication, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and doing exercise, correct?
yes,
And losing weight, correct?
yes,
And don't take in so many sugars into your system, correct?
correct.
And somebody that isn't a pre-diabetic or diabetic,
General reminder in the last 10 minutes that this is still about ineffective use of counsel.
Yeah.
Remember that,
everything
everyone.
that if they eat a lot of sugar, they don't become diabetic right away. I mean, they may in the future, but not right then, right? Okay. Now, cancer, somebody can have cancer and it goes into remission.
You're kind of lead. You're kind of lead.
Well,
I mean, I'm giving you leeway, but I don't know how much more of this I can do.
just a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Can cancer go into remission?
Objection, Your Honor. How's this relevant to anything?
Because I'm going to do an analogy.
Go
This
ahead.
isn't a jury.
Yeah, cancer can go into remission.
Okay. And doctor, can cancer go into remission? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. And if it goes into remission,
That's a
do you
leading
still have
question. What
cancer
is
and you
that? Oh my
consider it?
god.
no,
You don't have cancer if it's in remission?
it is a remission.
Okay. And has this diabetes ever gone into remission with your husband?
It can be controlled, but they don't say diabetes is gone.
Okay, thank you, Norm.
Any other questions, Mr. Bologna?
No, Your Honor.
You can step down.
Dude, he
I'm sorry,
literally
I'm gonna
he
go
had
ahead
a
with opposing
physical
arguments.
reaction
This
to that
isn't
one.
really- I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I'm not going to adjourn this so the lawyer can be subpoenaed. I'll listen to whatever you have to argue, Mr. Clovis.
Okay, Your Honor.
And I did read the briefs.
Okay. We rely on our briefs, the motion
Todd.
for reconsideration or rehearing, given the ineffective assistance of counsel. Because my client said no to diabetes, if he had that. He wasn't asked pre-diabetes, and I understand what the court is saying. But that doesn't all of a sudden negate the test results. It doesn't all of a sudden say, oh, okay, those test results are good because he didn't tell the officer that he's got diabetes or pre-diabetes. No, that's where there's justice that needs to be set aside because those aren't accurate. It was a .09.
Did you just say justice needs to be set aside? Get out
did.
of my courtroom right now. Get out of my courtroom right the fuck now. I don't even care if you fucking misspoke.
It's this guy is
Justice
so
needs to
funny.
be set aside, you piece of shit.
And he felt with the plea that it's an 09. What it turns out to be an 03 or an 04. And he pled guilty to something that he's not guilty of. So in the interest of justice, we're asking just that it be set aside and that it be scheduled for trial.
Thank you, Mr. Clovis. Mr. Bologna, anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Today is the date set for hearing. What I still don't know today is how, if someone is diabetic or not diabetic, that actually affects the PBT or affects the database or affects the Toxilizer 9000. I don't know. And that was the purpose of today. What we do know is that
Technically, he is correct because it's not an accepted
Yeah,
fact
he is.
that being diabetic is going to throw off the Toxilizer at all.
No, there's like documentation on it. There's studies, but those are just that.
Yeah. Technically, they haven't made a single argument that him being diabetic actually mattered in regards to the toxicology report. They've just
Not
been
only
fighting all
that,
day
I'm
if he
still
is
at the
diabetic or not.
Fact that he is, yeah, exactly. Which is, oh my god.
And honestly, the judge might have kind of not even noticed this either if the prosecutor didn't bring it up. Just because there's been so much
Yeah.
fighting back and forth about it. Probably like, you know what, you're right. That they technically actually didn't mention why the diabetes matters.
the defendant had testimony from three doctors, both which he's related to, claiming that he's potentially pre-diabetic. There's been documents put forth to the court that indicate there's a glucose level that may be pre-diabetic, but there's nowhere in any report from any doctor, the testimony from any doctor that he's actually diabetic. That said, we still don't know if that even affects the results here, but we still need to know how he has an effective assistance counsel, because what we know for certain is from the video
There
that was
we
put forward as
go.
evidence, Your Honor, where he states unequivocally in the video when
So I'm gonna say, like, watching lawyers like this has actually affected how I like address drama and stuff online. And I think some people,
I've noticed it in your posting.
yeah, some people have probably noticed it. Like, I will go down the entire list and cover every possible permutation of the argument. Like,
Which is why I've been fucking, look, you've been rocking it the last couple arguments, which, yeah, they've been shitty arguments and, drama trenches and whatever, but dear God, every time you've broken it down, it's like, yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, I have no problem admitting I have picked that up from just watching legal stuff all day. And I'm like, you know what? I probably should address every single point, even if I think it's irrelevant. And then at the end, I'll address why it's irrelevant anyways.
Because what's amazing about it is when you address otherwise irrelevant points, you completely eliminate their ability to use that point in their defense or their argument, because you've already covered it.
Yeah.
And I know what you're going to say, and this is why it's wrong.
That's basically what he's done here. He's gone through and he's like, look, we don't even know if he has diabetes. He's not properly proven he has diabetes. Even if he did, that doesn't prove that him lying to his previous lawyer, affected his... lying to his previous lawyer is the fault of his previous lawyer. Which is what we're actually here for today. And even if it was the fault of his previous lawyer, we have no idea why him being diabetic even matters in regards to, the toxicology report. So we're on 3 levels of you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's the question. Are you diabetic? No. For those reasons, Your Honor, I don't believe it anywhere close to the burden of establishing ineffective assistance.
Yeah, but anything else?
Sure. The last doctor testified that my client's a diabetic.
Anything else from you? The last client testified that he's diabetic.
Jesus.
You were such a dumbass. You should have just not said anything. You should have just stayed seated.
Yeah, no, really, this dude. Honestly, you need to show me your diploma from law school. And you need to give it to me because you don't deserve it anymore.
We're taking that one back. We're sending it back for you.
Yeah, that one's going back.
If it makes you feel better, I'll priority mail it back.
You can take a competency exam to re-earn it.
Let me tell you something.
And yes, I called it a diploma, not a degree, because I cannot believe he actually got a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Since he just mentioned, I don't see how this possibly rises to the level of ineffective assistance of counsel. I just don't. I mean, you got somebody here, his wife, Mr. Pastor's wife just took Mr. Pastor, I want you to let me finish before you start talking to your lawyer. His wife just testified that she advised him the pre-diabetic was the same thing as a diabetic in 2022. Yeah. In September of 2025, he told the officer.
This is a lot of other stuff that's kind of really fucked him in his case, which his case was already weak as hell. But a big part of his testimony was, well, I didn't tell it to the officer because I didn't know it mattered or it was the same thing. And then they didn't discuss that with his wife.
He didn't know the difference.
So his wife gets up on the stand. And he's like, actually, I told him it was the same thing years ago. So he's known it 4 years. And it's like, you guys should have worked this testimony out. You're already corrupt as shit. You should have dealt with it before you got to court.
Yeah, if we're already gilding the lily.
He clearly was not a diabetic. I have no evidence as to how much the toxilizer can be affected, the accuracy of it, though it might be. But how does somebody go tell an officer I'm not a diabetic and then expect to have their conviction overturned or their plea allowed to be withdrawn because they later try to argue that they are a diabetic? And in fact, his wife just testified, like I said, that back in 2022, she said it was the same. And I don't have any evidence that he was a diabetic. The only thing I have here is a medical record that says increased risk for diabetes, 5.7 to 6.4. That doesn't mean he's a diabetic. So I don't know what the argument here is, except Mr. Pastor apparently regrets his plea. I'm sorry about that. And now I've listened to his stepdaughter come in here and tell me there was a diagnosis. There's no diagnosis. There is no diagnosis on any of this that says diabetic, pre-diabetic, even patient-advised risk for diabetic. All it says is 5.7. That's it. I mean, I go get a physical every year, and they tell me what the numbers mean, but nobody here, no way do I see anything as a diabetic, and I don't know why a lawyer would even inquire whether his client's a diabetic or not. If you just read a report that says, I am not diabetic. And now Mr. Pastor comes in here and tries to tell me, well, I'm a pre-diabetic and I didn't think to say that. And I knew about it before. Then he says he didn't know about it till he talked to Mr. Clovis. But then he said, I knew about it throughout. And throughout include a lot more with Mr. Zelnick representing the defendant than Mr. Clovis, because the case went on forever. This is, like I said, at least the 8th time they've been in court, I believe, at least 7th, maybe 9th. I don't know. But I just don't believe any of this testimony. I don't believe it from the wife.
Yeah.
I don't believe it from the daughter-in-law. I don't know why she would have told me she had a diagnosis and she had her records, and then it turns out they're Dr. Jansky's records. This is not a game we're playing in here. Defendant's motion to withdraw the plea or for reconsideration is denied. Now, I told you when you filed your motion before that I will certainly, but you're going to have to file a motion. I'm not trying to create work for you.
I understand. It's a simple motion.
It's a simple motion that's going to set forth that you have to diligently prosecute the case. I will stay punitive matters. I will not stay things like treatment or testing, but file a motion. I'm going to accommodate you. If you want to have it in 2 weeks, Mr. Clovis, I'll be happy to accommodate you. I haven't done that in 10 or 15 years where I had to enter one of those orders, but I'll be happy to do that for you.
I appreciate you doing that, Judge, with regard to a stay as to the other matters. My client's been doing everything else. You had actually stated that at our last hearing.
Right. So I'll be happy to, I want all these records put in something that is marked confidential. Will you do that for me, Heather? Put all these other records in a folder that says confidential. So I'm going to ask you to try to
Yes,
file
Judge.
your motion next week, if you would.
Yeah, I'm going to try to.
And I'll have it the week after when they're here. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You have a very nice.
Mr. Bologna, are you my docket in 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
It would be,
He is here next on the 7th and the 21st.
So if you want to do it the 21st, I don't have a problem. Just make sure you perfect your appeal, okay?
Yeah.
And I'd like you to submit an order to me, Mr. Bologna, denying the motion so I can sign it. Will you do that for me, please?
to clarify for the record too, there was a motion to recount, but then this was also set for a Ginter hearing. Is that also denied as well?
That's the Ginter hearing, and any motion for reconsideration of the motion to withdraw the plea is also denied.
Judge, on the 21st, I'm downtown in Frank Murphy Hall.
I will accommodate you if you want to do this by Zoom.
Okay.
Just have your client with you, okay?
All right, very good.
Thank you both.
All right, Gavin. Thank you.
So what'd you think, Ava?
Wow, that was that was something else.
I loved it.
I honestly can't wait for the follow-up.
Yeah, I want to see those. It's so funny to me. Like how far they tried to stretch this.
Yeah, that's wow. I mean, they really dug down, triple, quadruple, even the other ones I don't know. Sextuple or whatever the fuck. They doubled down as many as was possible. And then used another doctor's records to fucking do it.
I want to know where they got the other doctor's
Bro.
records. Like who it was.
That's not too difficult to do, I imagine, between offices and stuff. But still, what should get her in a lot of trouble is the fact that she went into court and testified
Yeah.
using somebody else's records as her evidence. That's fucking crazy.
But that was
The
that was the
follow-up,
wonderful
you mean the
case I had.
layup?
The layup.
Yeah, that's the big one.
But yeah, chat, that
it
was
was a layup. It definitely was.
that was the case I had brought today. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That was a good one. My gosh. Don't forget to, head over to Mizu's channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell as hard as you guys possibly can. And we, of course, see you all on the next one. I had to duck out. My throat is like, I've like a gargled gravel or something. It's so scratchy.
Yeah, that's fair. I will be back later, chat. We also have a card opening tonight, as we normally do. Until then, I'm gonna send you guys to Doki Bird, who's playing that new Mouse PI game. But you guys have fun.
I'm going to send you guys into, let's see here, Cinder.
Cinder
Hey,
is
guys,
also
go.
doing her stream.
Yes.
But be good for everybody, chat. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, which admittedly is quite a lot.
Don't do anything that I would do, but also don't do anything that I wouldn't do. There's a middle gray area there that you get to operate in.
Yeah. But bye, chat. Y'all be good.
And there we